Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Good. Here, yeah, see that.
Ooh,
So
maybe get good, but looks like we're having some technical difficulties on Joker's side. Whether while he kind of quickly gets that up, so we can see what's going on with him. Hi, welcome to Get Good GGNA. Starting a bit later than normal, but starting nonetheless. I'm wondering how you guys are doing because we at least are in the booth doing great. I'm using Motherskirt Intel here, joined by Joker's Ransom, who's supposed to be doing the intro, but it's just out of nowhere. The moment we just started, he just breaks down, and he looks great today. He's got the Dwayne the Rock Johnson kind of outfit on. Well, I've got my jacket, and we've got an exciting series here. We've been so far doing well in the playoffs and teams kind of moving in. Right now, we have Paradise Tempest versus Forefront Esports. Paradise Tempest, one of those teams that I've at least well known to kind of acknowledge at least. Then they've been doing fairly well. Same when it comes down to Forefront Esports. Both of these teams are going, well, their best. They're trying to rely on themselves to make sure that they can go off into the quarterfinals, semifinals, and just the finals in general, which will be next week. We're pretty much done with this regular season, and it's going to be really exciting to see how these teams try to bring it back, or at least how to try to start it out, especially since they really don't have any kind of opportunity to come back from this besides from just the lower bracket and things like that. There's a lot to work on, and both of these teams do not want to lose like that, or at least the way I see it. I definitely think both of these teams want to come out trying to do the best that they can and try to just make sure that they succeed. And Paradise Tempest has always been one of those teams that I've been paying attention to eye on. They were so lovely to me one time that I will recognize them. So let's go over rosters real quick. We've got an interesting set. Both of these teams looking like they want to go something a bit more familiar. Man, all four Reddit. I'm pretty sure I've seen Mosquito Gaming and all these people before. I could be going crazy. I could have sworn. Oh man, did I just cast Forefront? I'm going absolutely insane. I don't know if these are the same players that I recognize, but hey, who knows? If it is, then I exactly know what I should be expecting from Forefront Esports because a lot of these players look very good. Mosquito Games, Reddit have been consistent players throughout the entirety of the season. Same with Nuggies and FTP. They've had their low grounds when it comes to Forefront Esports, but I can't say that they've ever done terrible. So when moving closer and closer into the series and trying to get that confirmation that Joker is absolutely dead, uh, we're gonna figure that out. But either way, I'm Intel. I'm gonna be able to kind of bring this in. You guys get the Intel Extreme, the solo casting, until we figure out what the heck is going on. So, look on the bright side of that, guys. You don't have to worry about anything. Let's just look at the map and kind of bring ourselves over to that category. More than anything, we're starting out on Oasis, one of those maps that I very much enjoy just because of its diversity and variety that a lot of these teams can try to do. It's very curious in the sense of the way that you want to be playing it. Sometimes it's heavily dive, sometimes it's heavily brawl. Either way, I don't think that it has one set type of style of gameplay. It's just the way that it is. And Oasis by far has to be one of my favorite control maps because of that. As long as it's not Ilios, I think I'm happy for it. And my goodness, it is just absolutely hilarious. My goodness. Just because of the fact that sitting here, you guys got the solo cast. It's absolutely late. We're already delayed out. I feel like that's the best part of Get Good. Got to get everything bad out your system before we get into the good stuff later down in the season. But I'm very interested to see how these teams start to work out. Paradise Tempest, if you did not know, has already been one of the most consistent and strongest teams within the season. They've been undefeated right now within the regular, to my last kind of idea of remembering when I saw it. But still, then Forefront Esports, I think they're going to be looking strong. I think they have a lot to look forward to and how they want to push forward. But the idea goes behind it of, can they beat a team that has consistently been performing extremely well? That can be a very worrying type of pressure to go up against. And wait, yeah, I did catch Forefront Esports. I love these guys. Forefront Esports, sometimes have given me mixed feelings. The memory just swooped in to go inside my head. But either way, we're going to be going into the map very shortly, which is going to be very much an exciting kind of consequence. It's going to be very exciting to see how these teams try to pull it out. And my goodness, just make sure you guys ping a Joker on Twitter, just saying where you at. It's it's absolutely great. But still, remember, I'm using _intel. Just it's gonna be a very much of a ride for this game. I've solo casted before, and let's keep going after it. I'm ready. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh my goodness, I am just absolutely excited. And I think a lot of what's going to be happening here is because Forefront Esports have been having a lot of kind of interesting matches as of recently. Haven't had the most consistent styles. They haven't had the consistent kind of play, especially when they were playing varsity. It was very much a hit or miss type of scenario where they were struggling to kind of finish the game out. I do remember that, or some memory that it ended up in sort of a map 5. So hopefully in the future we're going to be seeing some things change. They've definitely had a lot of time when it comes to working out and how they want to be competing inside the match. And don't worry guys about the wrong stream elements thing. You don't need to pay attention to that. I want you guys to look out on the screen of Oasis. We're at a very interesting map. This always kind of has that center point where you're going to be able to teleport on top, or more than anything, kind of have that heavy rush. I think this is very favorable for those teams who like to play that style. Paradise Tempest already looking like they want to be able to play that typical brawl. It's not too surprising. It's something that a lot of teams are very comfortable with, so being able to see them play out on it's going to be very exciting. However, Forefront Esports, they're running out with that Pharah Mercy dive. Nothing wrong with that, but the issue can come to stem is that they had a lot of issues last time to be able to make it used for great success. And I think that may become a further kind of problem as they're walking out, because Paradise Tempest, they're going to be able to kind of control that high ground. And if Lars is not shutting them down, it's going to be a continuous issue throughout the entire game. We're already seeing them, Paradise Tempest, being pressured out. That bubble's going to be knocking off FTB, and they're bursting down the rest of the backline, but they're not finding any security when it comes to these picks. So the Pharah, wanting to play by these natural covers, loses out their Diva, flies off the map. However, they get that trade onto the Lucio. It's looking on the bright side, especially with this Baptiste going down dangerously low. Paradise Tempest slowly collapsing underneath the weight as they're not finding a single target to be able to focus on. And Kawa is going to be able to just slowly start melting them down, get those clean kind of tracer picks, which you should be doing as these tracers, and absolutely help bring that fight into a victory. The problem just came down to the fact that Paradise Tempest had no room to be able to play that game in the sincerity that they wanted to, and that's not anything against them. It's just a typical way of how the brawl composition works. And it's going to be a further issue if Mosquito isn't able to kind of take out Forefront the more we go on. I also do believe our sides are actually swapped the more I'm kind of looking at it. Paradise Tempest now moving out. They're looking for just to be able to pop that barrage. Lars is going to be taken out by Mosquito. Looks like they're going to be able to kind of get that. They switch to be able to get that pick out. Okay, but now looking for those tracer picks is trying to find out Reddit. Gonna just barely manage to get it. However, Nuggets is being able to get those 2 picks. Gonna start getting that value, but that anti, absolutely amazing. That pulse bomb, luckily Eaton is going to be able to save them from FTP. They still have a bunch of ultimates on the side of Forefront Esports, now using that shatter to try to slow them down. Paradise Tempest, though, at 50%. They are eventually going to be losing their Ana. That nano does come out. I don't specifically see who that even hit, but still, it comes out. They're controlling at this point. They're being able to kind of stagger this out until the rest of their teams comes back. We see the sound barrier now being invested. The curious thing is, does Reddit want to be able to use that Blizzard? They've already started to win the fight. It's all about just finishing it off. Kawat and Culture are just slowing this fight down as much as possible. They're splitting them up, and as we can see, they're being able to rotate back on, bringing the point up to a 76%. Even Lars being able to return as an annoying pest inside the sky. However, they do an amazing job of putting pressure out and eating up most of that damage. Reddit is going to feel pressured. Even if that May wall to be able to come back, we're going to be seeing them take a sane amount of damage. We might have an opportunity for them to just be able to clean it out, but still one long fight has brought this to 95%. And Joker, I want you to be able to slowly bring it in because look at this fight. It's now over as we see Paradise Tempest. They're going to finally lose, but they brought that to 99%.
Well, I should be back. Thank
Yay!
you. Thank you for holding it down. But I haven't seen much, obviously, but I'm now here. What's been going on so far?
Well, it's been Paradise Tempest walking out on this more dive competition, and they've been doing a really good job of picking up Forefront Esports. However, through a long stall of a fight, and just like now, they need to try to save it out or they will lose.
Yeah, and the stuff going on. Oh my goodness, Kawa on the Tracer getting two. Oh my goodness, this should be all but over for Paradise Tempest. They've got two from both of their DPS, and that is just going to be enough. They're going to got this Reinhardt left on point. They're going to be able to capture it up. This should be Paradise Tempest winning this first round of Oasis here as the Respawn's trying to come back. The Moira now on point as well. Cassidy trying to walk up with the Dead Eye, but not going to do anything. It's just the last person on point. They've got to kill this Tracer. They've won this and they've got this in the bag pretty dominantly.
My goodness, I've got to say, it's so far an impressive form at Paradise Tempest. They're doing their best, but in the end, it just looks like Forefront Esports, they're going to be a little kind of choked out, not be able to touch. And fun fact, that big play that started out this entire fight with that pulse bomb stuck onto the Lucio, but the Lucio walked into Cassidy.
Yeah, that...
absolutely kind of upsetting. And Joker, you've missed a lot right now. I want to kind of catch you up, especially people who are joining in right now. We have Forefront Esports, a team that has been going up the ranks against Paradise Tempest, one of the better GitGud teams within the intermediate division right now. They have been consistently going strong. And it seems that they're proving it right now, being able to bring this out very closely. And now we're going to see them, once again, go on to this dive, except instead of a Far Mercy, they want to be going more into just that heavy kind of dive competition against Forefront, who are more going to be using up that Far Mercy. That could be an issue. Paradise Tempest have very much been working well as a team when they're split. So going into this fight, that Far is going to have to struggle to get as much value as they want.
Well, yeah, they're going to need to push in, get that far out of the sky. It's going to be relatively easy, even though Koa does not really have that pocket as much as you'd like to. But FTB already almost taking out Magic Turtle there, as that would have been huge for Forefront Esports. But Kawa is going to start it off with a pick onto the Mercy and the Pharah as well. A nice pile driver coming in onto the Tracer. And this is going to be Paradise Tempest all in the kill feed, as they're looking strong yet again to start off this map.
A really nice way to start out that fight. Forefront were very focused on trying to find any squishies to poke out, but Paradise Tempest are not giving them any opportunity to be able to take those kind of early investments, early fights. They're pushing in, they're making sure to use their resources to their advantage, and Forefront kind of couldn't keep up with that speed, especially losing Mosquito out this early in the push. It's going to be harder for them to really find any targets to isolate.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really hard as you see Culture keep rolling through the Forefront. He's going to be building up to those minefields as quickly as he can, as they're just putting so much damage in for Paradise Tempest right now, and Forefront Esports can't really do anything about it. They don't have the people to really deal with it, as there goes the nano boost onto Azukari there, but it's going to be Lars with two, getting both of the supports out of this. This should be over any second now. They don't have any supports to keep them up alive. The DMAC onto FTB. That's another clean team fight win for the side of Paradise Tempest.
A lot of these fights are kind of just Forefront trying to make it up on the spot. I'm seeing them have a center plan. They look like they want to be able to do something, but then Paradise Tempest, they move in, and there is just nothing that Forefront Esports can do to kind of keep up with that speed, especially when they lost Mosquito out early. They were kind of caught off guard. They have a couple of ultimates, but the issue comes is how are you going to be able to pull that out? Because now they're pushing in with the copied monkey.
Yeah, the copy monkey going into the back line, trying to catch people out. They've already got that primal rage up, and they're going to be able to get Pecan out of this fight. KFC Nuggies does turn it back, getting their honor of their own out of this fight. but still, it's tied up even on both sides with Azukari getting another pick yet again. With this Primal Rage, the Pulse Bomb does come out. Mosquito Game does get two, but it's going to be too late for it to really mean anything for Forefront Esports. It's already up to 99%, and this looks like it's a quick wash for the side of Paradise Tempest. KFC Nuggies does get a pick back with that Primal Rage of their own, and this just might be turning back in the favor of Forefront Esports. Speakon getting another pick onto Azukari. It's just Kawa on the point, and they are going to be getting and capturing it in their favor.
Man, respawns were just in the favor of Forefront Esports. That very much was Paradise Tempest's own fight. But the moment that they lost their monkey, you saw them stop moving. You didn't see them really try to invest too much. Even the Echo didn't try to like position themselves out of high ground or kind of around. They just let themselves die. Paradise Tempest only read one fight win, and they are already looking to take out somebody here.
Yeah, as FTB's already in the backline, slept up, but it might be Alligator who's going to be going down first. The Mercy super low, but it's going to be FTB getting the Mercy of Paradise Tempest down. It's all for Reddit getting two as well. But Paradise Tempest is going to try to get this point control, but there comes back the rest of Forefront Esports on to the back to the point and getting people away, going to regroup for Paradise Tempest.
Yet it is really hard for Paradise Tempest to kind of move back in here because now we're seeing Forefront Esports. They don't want to be losing this any second. Reddit just puts that pressure and takes out Lars. So now they don't want to move it. They're just going to poke. That time bank is going to rank up for a little bit longer. And I'm really hoping to see Paradise Tempest do something with this Pulse Bomb because the issue just comes in. The longer that this is going to take, Forefront are coming up on way more ultimate, and they really just need to win one fight in this type of scenario just to be able to push it for that overtime spot.
Yeah, they almost took out Mosquito Game there, but Mosquito Game taking out Lars is going to be massive. The Pulse Bomb not going to be able to be used in this fight. Self-destruct coming out on point from FTB. They're going down in the end, but still it's up to 99% and it's flipped into the Paradise Tempest. It's even trades all across the board, but Culture has the minefield on the point, and that should be enough for Paradise Tempest to win this out. It's just the copied monkey on point. It's all for Reddit trying to get the Reddit kills and win it out for his team, but it's not going to be enough. Mosquito Game does come back taking out Culture, but it's still not looking good for the side of Forefront Esports. They need to get some more picks into their favor if they want to win this out and keep Oasis going, but FTB does go down as a Pulse Bomb getting another pick onto the Lucio. This should be enough. The coalescence is there from the side of Forefront Esports to keep everyone alive, but the Res gonna be taking a back Magic Turtle. This should be enough, man. As Paradise Tempest keep getting the picks in their favor. Pecan going down as the focusing beam takes down KFC Nuggies. It's just the respawns coming back. It's just the Tracer and the ball left on point. Kawa with another pick as well. This should be all she wrote as Paradise Tempest take Oasis 2-0.
Paradise Tempest, one of the best things about their team is that their players aren't, show off talent at times. I feel that they are one of the only teams that I can convincingly say that I feel that they could fight anyone in a tier higher and take them to a good kind of standstill. And this is why they play excellently as a team. We saw a moment where they definitely could have lost, and you saw in that moment how Forefront Esports aren't always kind of synced in of how their team is. While on the other hand, Paradise Tempest, they're always focused on how to be a team. Sure, my camera isn't, as I need it to be able to focus on me so you guys don't think I'm a blurry mess. Put on your glasses. You never know. Drink some water maybe. But still, they look absolutely beautiful. And Joker, from the first one map that you got to saw, I'm thinking that you kind of see the idea that I'm going with.
Yeah, I definitely see what's going on with Paradise Tempest. They've got this in the bag, and then they lose these last fights when Forefront just come back. They need to win these fights, but still, they have the grit, the determination to come back, win the next fight or two that they need to win, and win out the maps that and win the fights that are necessary to win the maps.
Yeah, and I think that's really important for long-term stability. They're not even trying, I guess, to run a typical type of dive. We haven't seen them use that Diva, more of Wrecking Ball and Winston, which are heavy, and I mean like capital H heavy. I didn't spell out heavy, I put like a box, but what it allows you to do. It gives you more damage into dives. You're losing a lot of that security. You're losing a lot of that peel factor, making your own support line a lot more open if they die. And, there's nobody's fault but that but yours. And yet, we never saw Paradise Tempest actually dying. We never saw their team actually losing, as my camera is having a terrible day here, too. Oh, my goodness. They were pretty much able to just hold their own, play consistently long, and now Forefront Esports, they're once again on the back foot. Joker, I don't know how much you've watched of this team, but I've got to cast a lot of their games. And Forefront Esports always go on the back foot. Normally, they spend their time map 1, 2. They sometimes struggle on it, but then once they get to that map 3, something flicks in. And that map 4, they start coming back. So I could definitely see Forefront Esports playing for a reverse sweep here. But I'm still very worried.
Yeah, you can't be one of those teams that always plays for the reverse sweep. It's not good. It's not a wise decision, especially in the upper bracket finals here. You do still have the chances to come back and win out, get in the lower bracket, but still, you'd like that ticket straight to the grand finals here. But you can't be doing this. You if you're born winners, win out when they can win out as quickly as they possibly can. And if Forefront keeps playing like you say they do, as they don't win out quickly, or they have to wait a couple maps to figure out what Paradise Tempest is all about, this might just be out of their reach entirely, because Paradise Tempest is looking just incredible right now. And we're going to be heading to Germany, checking this out, going to Eichenwald, and that should really still bode well to what Paradise Tempest was running.
I definitely have to agree to that sentiment. I feel this is going to be a bigger issue when it comes for the side of Forefront Esports, mostly because Eichenwald is not a map that you're allowed to play slow on. It's not something like Temple of Anubis. It's not something like Hollywood, where the entire point of the game is that you can play it in a slow format. You can play it in different areas, and it'll work. It'll be looking fine. It'll absolutely be great. The issue comes from the fact that Paradise Tempest want to be able to play fast, want to be able to move further into the series, but well, it comes to the idea that they're not really being able to work more as a team, and that's the point that we're scared of when it comes to them going up against Paradise Tempest. I'm more interested to see, though, what compositions do they want to go out? Do they want to commit to that idea of slowing this game down? Because that is an amazing way to cause people to not be able to play when it comes to Eichenwald. However, Paradise Tempest can definitely still switch that up by just committing fully into that type of just dive or just pure brawl / rush. There's a lot of sentiment to those ideas,
Yeah, definitely. And with Eichenwald being as different as it possibly can be, with each point varying based on what comp is really good, it can just bode to different, like I was saying, different compositions. But right now we're seeing Forefront opting for a Ball Sigma defense, which honestly was not thinking that was going to be coming out at all. And as well, Paradise Tempest opting for a Ball Winston attack. Normally the first phase, usually you'd see more of a brawl comp, then switching to the dive, but we're seeing Paradise Tempest starting out with the dive.
I think they made a sensible kind of idea when changed. I don't think this is like something terrible, but they immediately want to make us bite our tongue as they make a couple swaps. But either way, the same sentiment. It's just hyper aggressive dive, and this is going to be very well against their Forefront Esports' own split composition. Thing about that makes this good is that Culture can dive someone else, while Kari is going to be able to go after anyone they want, especially through this front choke. It's just more of how you take these pushes.
Well, KSC Nuggies already slept up, but it's going to be Culture who goes down early in this fight, as this should be Paradise Tempest just backing up without their Wrecking Ball any longer.
Executing flight maneuvers.
Yep, now as they move forward, they are going to be trying to pay more attention to how to really push in. It's very hard, solely just because Reddit is a presence that exists. Reddit's going to be someone that's going to be able to move further. Reddit's going to be able to start shutting people down. And, well, be able to do as much as they want. So as we see them trying to be able to take out FTP, they managed to succeed on it. They've now opened this fight up.
Yeah, the fight's already broken wide open. Taking out FTV was huge. Mosquito Game does take down Lars, but it's not going to be really enough. There's just so many picks going in the favor of Paradise Tempest now as they finally get that last pick on the Mosquito Game, as this should be a first point opened for Paradise Tempest.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. They did a really nice push. They just got out that Sigma, and Forefront Esports, they couldn't build up the ultimates fast enough. Reddit is not getting a lot of consistent damage onto this Pharah as they should, so they don't have that barrage for the early push, and now it's going to be harder for them to kind of control the high ground. They're going to have to just play stack together, and that's what Paradise Tempest want you to do, especially with this Nano already being built up. They're going to have a lot of opportunity just to be able to clip them.
Yeah, as Culture taking out Pecan onto the off the side of the map, rolling through, not being taken anything's doing. They need to deal with Culture. That's what I'm trying to say. As this was just another quick wash of a fight for Paradise Tempest, but just like I was saying, Culture needs to be dealt with. You can't let the Wrecking Ball run free, especially on that high ground, booping off your supports. That's just gonna bode for a quick fight win for their team.
Yeah, they're even wanting to still take it as much as they can, get any type of staggers. Though this Visor wants to be able to find anyone out, it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, and they're going to be using both support ultimates for Paradise Tempest, and they're going to get picks in response with them. If they're going to get Lars with two, yeah, again, Lush is going to be getting a couple of picks in their favor. They don't have the Transcendence for that massive Gravitic Flux, but it's not going to matter as Paradise Tempest keep getting these picks in their favor, and that's this cart just keeps rolling on very quickly.
Hey, they're doing an amazing job of just kind of momentum pacing when it comes to this game, and that's how they're going to be able to just freely try to capture this. Though, Paradise Tempest will struggle to try to finish this out, as they've lost their Tracer, and the entirety of Forefront Esports are going to come back, so they just decide, we're not even going to take it. We're just going to look for a pick as much as we can, and then we'll retake it.
Yeah, I mean, they do trade out yet again, and Lush is going to be swapping over to the Soldier to get back to the point quickly, I suppose, even though they were on the Tracer. The copy coming out onto the Sigma, trying to get something doing, trying to build up to this Gravitic Flux, but the Barrage is going to come out and take down the Mercy, and it's looking good for Forefront. They've got the picks in their favor right now. The Gravitic Flux copy does get a lot of damage done, but it doesn't get any kills, as it looks like Forefront's coming back and being able to win, stabilize on this defense. Doesn't say that Culture does take down Peace, but it should be enough for the side of Forefront to win this out.
Yeah, it seems Paradise Tempest, they didn't really focus on anyone, or they just lost someone very early, and they weren't really expecting it, especially with this anti that might be able to pick out Lars. No, it does pick out Lars, and this Mercy's dangerously low. They're not looking as sharp as they did before. Forefront's getting a free with a lot. Culture had a lot of opportunities to use those mines, but I'm guessing that they're wanting to do something different. I'm guessing that they want to try and be a bit more conservative, especially when holding this point down.
Oh. We're gonna need to talk about something after this map is done with, but it looks like Paradise or Forefront Esports is still holding this defense strong, but they do have the nano boost onto the Winston here. Both Echoes do trade out picks, but it's gonna be pieced down in this fight, as it's looking good for the side of Paradise Tempest right now, as they've got these picks coming in their favor, as Culture does take down Mosquito Game, and another pick going in their favor almost. Oh, the KFC Nuggies does get away with a nice sticky bomb going in on to the rest of Forefront Esports. They should be able to win this out. The Gravitic Flux going to be invested here by FCB as well, with Attack Visor coming out from Mosquito Game. Does take down Magic Turtle, but this should not be enough, as it's looking like all red in this kill feed right now for the side of Paradise Tempest. They just got to take down this Mercy and Sigma. They've got this point unlocked.
Yep, already look at that. Lars builds up that visor. It's basically a guarantee, just that confidence to be able to win it out. And this is the target focus and that skill ability coming out from Paradise Tempest. And again, it's just like I say, sometimes their players aren't play-worthy. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But either way, they're as a team and they were able to focus fire and work very well. Though that took a very long time, and now they have to go into a spot where their composition is infinitely weaker. They're gonna have to struggle to make anything happen, or especially get that third point.
Well, they need to do something here for Forefront. They did have, they looked like they caught what Paradise Tempest was selling there for a little bit of the time, but then it just opened up wide open to the side of Paradise Tempest. Both minefields are going to be invested early, but it's going to be the Lucio of Forefront going down first in this fight. Another pick going into their favor as well. This should be all they need, but oh my goodness, quick kill of the Echo copy on Nakawa, but it's still Culture getting so much work done on the Wrecking Ball here. The Echo copy trying to do something to take down Rigby Don on with the copy, as Lars going to be using the tack visor as well. Not going to get anything, but it's going to be Kawa getting so many picks in this fight. As the side of Paradise Tempest are going to be able to win this out off the back of some nice plays off their DPS line and Culture. The respawns are going to be coming back though. I might have spoken too soon, but Culture does take down FGB immediately as they come back. There's the May trying to get the stall out. They do need to get something. KFC Nuggies does take down Azukare. They need more picks in the favor of Forefront Esports if they want to do something. That should be enough for them to win this out. FTB back on the point again. But Culture getting 3 as Paradise Tempest finally get point 3 unlocked.
What an absolutely beautiful way. That was just all about pure aggression, not allowing the momentum to slow down and for them to be able to work as a team. It was absolutely an amazing way to just kind of bring up that fight.
Yeah, so now we're going to be heading into Forefront Esports attacking phase, and it's very doable to get the same time bank that Paradise Tempest ended up with in the end, but I don't know. Depending on what they're going to be running on attack will really depend on this, because we saw Paradise Tempest have an amazing first push, all right, second push, but it's going to be really difficult for them because if they're anything like how they were on the control map, it's going to be really difficult for Forefront Esports to crack this open.
Man, I definitely have to agree and all that. Sorry. Sorry, Joker. I gotta get a second, man.
Okay, it's fine. I understand. We'll talk about it during the break, and we'll have a moment of silence. But we've got some of his favorite game to cast at the moment. So, well, right now we're seeing the side of Forefront Esports opting for a Winston Hog-based composition. Well, just as I say that Diva going to be locked, they're going to be going for traditional dive there with the Soldier 76. Paradise Tempest going to be opting for a very bog standard double shield composition, as they it's gonna be really difficult for the side of Forefront Esports to go in onto this fight. They need to down Rigby Dawn quickly before any real peel can come in for the side of Paradise Tempest, but FTP already going to get demucked and taken down by Culture, as this should be a nice easy fight win for the side of Paradise Tempest. They do get the dive coming in, the nice anti-nade coming in on to Magic and Culture. It's a nice little dash coming through from Mosquito Game, but it's still looking good. But ooh, the Zenyatta is going to be taken down by the side right Mosquito Game, but still, the side of Paradise Tempest should be able to win this out very quickly.
Absolutely. Just a really nice way to be able to defend that out. The double shield very much slowed them down, and they had a lot of issues on finding out the supports to be able to focus down. That's very much the first targets that you're going for, because everyone in this composition is sustainable, even that Baptiste to a certain extent. And, well, once you catch them out, once they're using those resources and those jumps and they're not getting value off of it, well, they just get punished, as you saw. Oh, we've got a pause. Okay. Hey, nothing bad, everyone. Joker's picture may be still a laggy or something, but we're definitely back, and so far this match is going interesting. I think Paradise Tempest have set themselves up for a very good momentum. Joker? Oh no. Every time we don't say that. every time every every time we go on camera, Joker's internet just absolutely goes poo poo. And my goodness. Uh I do wanna sorry, I'm caught off guard. So if you guys didn't know, I want to make this like a kind of public announcement and everything. I'd recommend you check on somebody and such as we get slowly into the game. But Philadelphia Fusion is something. Philadelphia Fusion's flex support player Alarm has passed away. So as we continue with the program and solo thing, rest in peace. We're absolutely gonna miss you, man. So as we move into this fight, we're already seeing some good damage come in. Reddit though is struggling just to be able to rotate out to find out Lars is getting hit with a lot of damage. Now this window, they want to be able to jump behind, maybe make them make a small mistake and go after that Zenyatta, who's somehow just being able to live for a lot longer than I truly expected, but still gets traded out. The issue comes in now that Paradise Tempest don't have their own support. It's going to be harder for them to be able to hold it. They have ultimates, but I doubt that they truly want to waste this in a fight like this, where it's not really absolutely winnable, but still, Molenkari gets thrown out, immediately canceled, and that's kind of the scenario and moment that, like, you get found, and it's just a very unfortunate for the side of, for Paradise Tempest. They are going to be able to kind of have a couple ultimates when they're pushing forward, and how they're gonna be able to move forward. But you know, we're gonna see how this pushes. They are gonna be able to take over that high ground, which Forefront Esports is gonna have issues trying to just take over. So they use that blade. It's dry, and it's going to get hit by the Transcendence. No room you're going to be able to try to stop that out. Even if you're trying to just be able to pressure them, you're more relying on your own mechanical abilities, but still, you're walking into the Lion's Den, and they are getting these equal trades in. Though Reddit is doing an amazing job of getting in that burst damage to where the rest of the team are able to follow up on. This Valk is going to help them push forward the more that this match continues to happen, and unfortunately, no, Lars gets that pick! That's absolutely insane. That was a consistent body shot to be able to take them down. And Reddit just needs to hit one tiny little splash to be able to finish it. I've got to say, it's absolutely a phenomenal way to be able to slow this fight down. Bring it back for yourselves. And, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, moving forward, we are going to be seeing them kind of slow things down, try to maybe stop Forefront from setting themselves up, getting out a barrage. However, that res is still going to be there. They're going to be looking for these opportunities to kind of bring things back, try to save themselves. However, this high ground has to be given up, as they're a little bit given up, as they want to be able to give space. They want to give a little bit more of respect. Eventually, now, Reddit's going to be able to hit that little 2K, though the rest of the team falling down shortly after. They're not going to be a full squad here, eventually being picked off. So now, moving in a little bit further, they had to use a lot of big ults there, and now they're going to be making some swaps here. They are going to be making some changes, wondering how they're going to try to make this. This is a very hard situation to break through. That Paradise Tempest really don't need to win off of ult. However, that pick onto the Arist is absolutely massive and an early value. Compared with that window being figured, there's just nothing that Forefront Esports can do that would be able to slow themselves down. They have the momentum, and they're choosing to push forward with it. Paradise Tempest, though, switching over to this dive may help them out a tiny bit. So, as we push, we are going to be seeing them slowly moving. Paradise Tempest still wanting to be able to kind of do something, as as we see the blade come in, that Anti's going to try to slow them down. However, that Valk is still going to be shut down. Unfortunately enough for the side of Paradise Tempest, they just don't have enough of a team. They are still wanting to fight inside this as much as possible to be able to slow it down as much, but there's just nothing that they can do for Forefront Esports. They just have the team and the sustainability to be able to push further. Nobody's going to be able to do much, and eventually they are just going down. So now, but as we push forward, I'm sorry guys, still a lot going on here. So now, as we move forward, we are going to be seeing Forefront Esports. They have that Dragons. They had a lot of room to be able to kind of bring this in and be able to defend themselves. So now with this Dragon going through Paradise Tempest, already taking a massive amount of damage, they are going to be a little bit struggling as they've lost one to be able to push forward. It is easier for them to be able to block out that bomb and still be able to push that payload with 1 minute and 20 seconds. Paradise Tempest having to touch down on the point. It is going to be a little bit more hurtful for Forefront Esports as that bomb just gives them a little bit more room to just push out. They kind of help them in their own favor, and now they're getting an advantage in this side, especially with that Primal Raise. There's just not much that you can do.
60 seconds remaining.
Now, pushing in, man. Pushing in. So, moving forward. As we push in, my god, I'm just so caught out of it, my guys. But moving forward and such, Forefront Esports, they have one more fight. They're switching over to this teleporting brawl just to be able to make something happen of it. Paradise Tempest, they still have two big ultimates, the Dragon Bongo. Though it splits them up, Forefront Esports, they're feeling fine. They're going to be able to rotate all the way around it, and they're going to basically just kind of start moving in once those ultimates have been used. Nobody going down, though. They're basically securing themselves, and they're feeling great. However, Mosquito Gaming going down the rest of their side. Eventually, Poke Transcendence coming out just to be able to save them in. Paradise Tempest doing an amazing job of just being able to protect themselves. An absolutely phenomenal way to stop this push. I've got to say, it looks like Paradise Tempest will immediately bringing in the 2-0.
Victory.
What a beautiful way just to be able to kind of slow things down, be able to kind of bring the fight back. And it was mostly kind of a comp situation that weren't going to be able to do anything. So, as we kind of see Paradise Tempest, they're going to be moving forward. We are kind of just going to go immediately over to a quick break. So, stay tuned as we're just going to see what's going on with Joker and everything. So, either way, stay tuned as we'll be back with GitGud.
My mind is a minefield. Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together again. See what I see, yeah, you could save me. Got me out of my mind, tongue-tied, hypnotized, but it feels alright. Just scared 'cause I want you. You brought me back to life. Now I'm terrified, and I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together Love to watch the way you made me into a mess. Hands on my dress, neon red. You were everything I didn't need until you left. Now I'm dancing around my living room. I get drunk on the thought of you and I. When you were mine, see your eyes in every stranger. I replay the way that we were till I'm high. No, it's not right. I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I miss you kissing me like you used to, like only you do. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I know you're gone, and you probably just forgot me. Yeah, you're moving on. But I can't let go, 'cause I'm still sleeping with the moments, lying with your ghost. Now I'm dancing around my living room. I get drunk on the thought of you and I, and you're not mine. But I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I miss you kissing me like you used to, like only you do. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. Heart overhead, and I guess I love to watch the way you made me into a mess. I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. I miss you kissing me like you used to, like only you do. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. You know the good things are never as good as the bad, and your love is better than anything I've ever had. Oh, I miss you missing me like you used to, yeah, like you used to. When we were 15, I remember the car rides, small fights, conversations all night. I never saw you as anything more than a friend, but now I see you in a new light. We're getting older, there's a sparkle in your eyes that wasn't there before. You give me butterflies, it makes me wonder if there could be something more. We were only kids when we first met. Now let's discover what we haven't yet. I don't wanna wonder what could have been. So baby, take my hand and let my love in. Let my love in. When we were 15.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Let's hope my internet keeps alive for the time being. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, we
Hashtag
got to your face.
hashtag blame Spectrum. I don't know. But we're here. We're going into map 3. It's gonna be we're going to Junker Town, and should be interesting. Going to see some maybe double sniper compositions going forward here.
Ooh, Junkertown's always been one of those maps that I very much fell in love with, just because of the idea that you can run double sniper and that Bastion is very much a viable strategy. As much as that can be very much annoying for some teams who don't go up against the Bastion, or people like me who have gone up against Bastion, you get really mad about it. You're like, oh man, it's so cheap and frustrating to beat, and that's just kind of an issue that further goes on. So it's an understandable thing. But Paradise Tempest, Junkertown's always been one of their really strong maps, I think, a lot because they can play that Widowmaker, and they have a sort of Widow specialist, someone who's been really good at being able to kind of find those picks and values. But as well, I think as we've been watching this series, while Forefront have been somewhat improving, I think comparatively to first map to second map and now to Junkertown, it's still going to be that area of how far can you push that payload until it stops. That's the question. Oh my goodness, sorry. We just got a raid of 130 people, so I actually just want to shout that out because that's absolutely amazing. You know, break the professionality. I don't even scuff enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of people, but we're just waiting for the readies from the teams to head into Junker Town there. But yeah, it should be fun as we now just have gotten the readies. We should be heading straight to Junker Town. We'll see. Oh,
listen, I also do want to point out, at least from players that I'm noticing from the few days that I have not seen Forefront Esports play, I want to say there is a significant improvement where I'm feeling a lot more confident in their own play style and kind of how they're working. They're absolutely doing great, I think, but Paradise Tempest is their own faction to try to have to break down. I think Nuggies as well. Solid tank line. Before I had a lot of issues on how Nuggy was trying to take engagements and not really working with the team, but they're looking a lot more fluid and everything. But Paradise Tempest, I don't know how to put it in words. I think it's just the fact that they, as a team, know what to do with each other.
yeah, and that shows either really well good synergy or very well coached, and that's a big thing, especially in lower divisions of Overwatch. You need to have those that's great synergy with your team, or you need to have that great coach who can build your synergy together. And it seems from what we've seen from Paradise Tempest so far, that's what they've got. They've got either great synergy or great coaching, or a mixture of the two.
I think more than anything, I gotta rub my little stash here. I really am worried about how this hold can go. Joker, how much of Junkertown do you experience in your normal day?
I don't like to experience any of Junkertown at all.
Oh wow,
I
based.
hate Junkertown. It's one of my least favorite escort maps. It's just the fact that you can. There's just so many times that I've been full held on Junkertown. It's very frustrating.
Man, I can definitely see that. But I mean, pay attention to what Paradise Tempest is running versus Forefront Esports. This is something that very much is a kind of Junkertown exclusive, and how people definitely want to be going to use this. I'm not going to be expecting that Wrecking Ball to come out too much. If Culture does, I'll still fairly be impressed. No, going on with that beer dive. This is still something that works very well in Junkertown. But what Forefront are running is your bread and butter. I'm more worried that they have been struggling to slow down the momentum and kind of missteps of Paradise.
Yeah, it's so really interesting that Paradise is opting for a Wrecking Ball here, as it's just so open, not very, I feel like Wrecking Ball based. But they do get some good value on this high ground there, trying to get out some damage with the pile driver, but still not focusing out the rest of Forefront. As much just as I say that, Kawa does take down Miss Hero Game, and that's going to be the dive coming now in for Paradise Tempest after the Ash is gone. This should be opened up for the side of Paradise Tempest now. KFC Nuggets does take down Azukari, but that's not going to be enough. It's just some respawns. Is a nice little shot coming in from Kawa onto all for Reddit. And Paradise Tempest has opened up their attacking phase here.
Absolutely insane when it came to just those headshots and how crucial they were to that push. Double shield is very much a composition that as long as you have one tank alive, you can somewhat bring it back, but the fact that they were able to not only take out the supports but the DPS meant it was going to be a lot harder, and now they are still pushing forward even though Forefront is getting value off of this close hold.
Yeah, they got the value out of the close hold, but they didn't close the doors. That would have been so much better for the side of Forefront Esports if they had let it come through that choke there, close the doors, because that would have given them a lot of extra time frame.
It's going to be harder for them to be able to kind of set up. They are still looking to dive and slam. They even set up for a beautiful dragon.
Yeah, the dragon is going to be getting taking out Mosquito Gaming Culture as well, taking out the Brigida. There's my Alpha Reddit, might be caught between a rock and a hard place, but no, they do take down Culture there as FTB trying to turn it back, but they do go down as well, though, as the side of Paradise Tempest still are going to be pushing this cart.
They are going to be able to move that a lot further, and that was a really nice fight, a good setup, and that's pretty much how they managed to lower down everybody on Forefront Esports to be able to eventually isolate and kill them off. The issue comes now is Forefront Esports are still going to be able to come back and contest by choice, but however, this nano going in, they want to try and stop it.
Yeah, Azukari getting this nano boost already. Mosquito Game does turn it back with a pick onto Rigny Dawn, but it's already going in favor of Paradise Tempest, as the Gravitic Flux is also going to be invested there by FTB. Not going to get anything as Kawa. Oh my goodness, that man's on fire on that Hanzo.
And, Paradise Tempest, they are working absolutely overtime when it comes to taking these early engagements, especially when Forefront Esports, they showed themselves for a second, and then Akari just jump in, uses that nano, finds out the Hanzo, the rest of the team now pushing themselves on the point. They don't have any room to be able to work as a team, and now they want to try to fight on point.
Yeah, as a massive anti-nade coming in from Magic Turtle, that should just open this up yet again. This is just the cleave damage coming through from Azukari with the Tesla Cannon. Gonna be able to take down everyone yet again. Paradise Tempest are just steamrolling through Junkertown right now.
And that's the problem. They just use that double shield and they try to walk in to contest that payload as if it was Brawl or Shadow Dive, and that's not how it's going to work. You need that poke angle. Paradise Tempest is getting a lot of value by you walking into them. So at least now with this Winston Diva, and especially this High Noon combo, you're going to be able to start getting some value.
Yeah, well, it's going to be getting value already. KFC Nuggies does go down, but already got so much damage onto the side of Paradise Tempest. They were able to get picks in their favor, as Paradise Tempest will have to regroup for the time being. As, Kawa getting stunned out there, almost going down as well. That would have been a very late stagger. And it is.
It was absolutely a really nice stagger as well, because it's slowly just going to continue on. Forefront Esports, they've now found some room that they're going to feel proud of. Though they do end up switching back over to the Orisa, I think having this Diva out is going to make some changes. I think this is the entirety of Diva's point and kit when it comes to the game and starting to slow people down and taking them out. The further that this match goes on, it's going to be able to stop that monkey from jumping, and it's going to be able to eat that dragon. But how does that work? We're going to see how it goes in.
Well, all for Reddit, not going to let a nano monkey do much to him, as he's already got 3 in this fight, trying to get another, as KFC Nuggies takes down that 4th kill away from him, as the side of Forefront Esports are looking very strong now on this defensive hold, but it's 0.3 of Junkertown. The defense always has that advantage, and they're using that advantage very well.
definitely have to agree. Paradise Tempest, though, they do at least have some ultimates set up within their own bank, and they want to take this fight in. Though they're not fully stacked, we do see Lars wanting to put pressure onto the supports. This can work out. They just have to find that opening.
That was a nice little play coming in from Culture, taking Alpharetta out of where they wanted to go, but they still get a pick with the Dragon Strikers and still getting another pick yet again. The Hanzo for Alpharetta is single-handedly holding this point for the side of Forefront Esports right now. It is just a he's just dismantling the side of Paradise Tempest every chance he can get. The Primal Rage going to be invested with Mosquito Game, has the Deadeye on the line, takes down Culture. It's just the Monkey in the back line getting stunned up and killed immediately. Still, Forefront Esports holding this defense quite strong, and it's down to under 1:30 left.
Yeah, look at that. Somehow, though, Forefront Esports, they have figured out how Paradise Tempest want to engage in every way, and they break them to pieces. There is not Paradise Tempest are very much struggling to find these openings. We're even seeing some switches as they want to try to break through. I think the big problem comes in from the fact that Nuggies and FTP are doing an amazing job of keeping their team peeled. They're making sure that they get that kind of DM, bubble, security, and it's hard for them to be able to dive in because there's a lot of CC hitting them, especially with Reddit being able to hit these body shots, headshots, it's a lot of damage hitting them.
Yeah, and there's more damage coming in with the Supercharger out. Mosquito Game is going to take down Lars as well with FTB. Oh my goodness, this defense is going so strong for the side of Forefront as the Dragon Strike coming out yet again from all for Reddit. As it's down to 30 seconds here, user. It doesn't look good. They only have this Dragon Blade online.
More than anything than this just Dragon Blade, it's a Nano Blade. That is an ultimate that can very much be what they need. But I want to see them work as a team, stop getting staggered out, and now they're prepared to use it. Let's see how it's going to work.
Oh, it was a perfect chance to do it right there. There goes the Nano Blade in, and it's going to get one. He does go down another one as Alpha for Reddit's down, and the Brigida 2. That's going to be all they need to win this fight out. Is Kawa getting 4 in this fight. They need to get this Diva as well. That the stall character of the Diva going to be able to get a lot of stall time. The self-destruct out on point, and FTB is going to be able to get that rematch quite quickly afterwards. The Doomfist coming back from all for Reddit takes down Magic Turtle. That's so much healing gone to the side of the. Oh my goodness, they up the point for more than the time they needed. It's still looking good for Paradise Tempest. They've got everyone they need on point. The Culture taking out Peace with the minefield as well. They just need to keep the people on the cart, and they look like they've been able to get this miraculous third point completion, as the Diva's not going to be able to touch.
That hurts. They were doing so well. There was just that moment, I think, where Forefront Esports, they finally found that room. It was definitely difficult going up against that hook, trying to slow them down, but Paradise Tempest just barely able to bring it out. I feel a little bit proud to be able to say that, though I feel going to try to hold this is going to be an issue for them. Forefront Esports, if Paradise Tempest runs the same thing as they've been running, it's going to be absolutely difficult. Forefront Esports have figured out how to play against it. I think they're doing an absolute phenomenal job being able to hit these counter plays. Their DPS have started to rack things up, and remember what I said? The moment it starts, map 1, map 2, they look a little off. Map 3, they start coming back. Map 4, we could be looking at a possible map 5 situation. They look very good. In Paradise Tempest, they're running at times, I think you can debatably say, a risky comp to do, especially on Junkertown. It's very much a good comp, but I think it very much peels onto the fact that your enemy team aren't that good.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're still seeing Paradise Tempest opting to, to just not run something that would be considered meta. They're having the hog and ball composition coming out on defense. It worked for them a little bit on their offensive push, but I mean it's defense. It's not. It's a very not a normal composition for to be running.
Look at this. The snipers are set. Forefront Esports, I think they're more of taking the second to scout and try to expect what Paradise Tempest are running. They're running a very nice composition on trying to break it, but the DPS, they're going to have to start working overtime to be able to break through. Especially Mosquito, who basically is just going to be looking out for any type of squishy.
Yeah, they're going to be looking out for Magic Turtle and Rigny Don there, specifically getting those supports out. But it might have been Culture. Oh, no, he does get away for the time being as Azukari takes down FTB immediately as the anti-nade coming out onto the Orisa. They're going to be caught out as well by Kawa as Beast trying to keep the rest of their squad alive, but a nice pile drive coming in, but Kawa is going to be the one to get those picks in the favor of Paradise Tempest. The defense still holding strong for the time being.
If there's anyone that you want to be taking out first in this type of scenario, it is 100% going to be that Orisa. That Orisa is so sustainable long term, so being able to pick it, you're forcing now Forefront Esports to say, you know what, let's run something different. However, with FTP being out staggered, there's really not much they can do besides enable Nuggies to look for a hook and pick, and even then, they're still going down, down, down.
Yeah, and they get the pick with Nuggies onto Azukari, but the Pulse Bomb stick, this is going to be their piece. Does save their life of their hog with the Immortality Field, and Nuggies getting another pick in this fight is massive. They've taken down Lush, who's just been doing so much, harassing the backline of Forefront Esports, as it's still looking strong, but Kawa does have this Dragon Strike. A nice little hook coming in from Azukari, gonna take down KFC Nuggies with the help of Azukari and the Dragon Strike, and Paradise Tempest still holding strongly, but just as I say that, Alpha Reddit does take down Culture.
I am more impressed that Paradise's Tempest's own Roadhog is just cleanly walking out and is being able to get so much room. A lot of what Roadhog does is tend to flank, but we're not really seeing much of that. I think this is more of just a frontline Roadhog, and it's working out to great extent. Though in this Hog 1v1, it's going to matter on who gets hooked first to who loses that push.
Yeah, and it will also be the Tracer Duelist. Lars takes down Alpha Reddit in the back line before anything can go into the favor of Forefront Esports. They're not going to be able to use that Pulse Bomb for the little bit, as they're just going to push straight forward. It's a nice Pulse Bomb stick by Lars yet again, taking out Peace in the backline. That's the healing gone for the side of Forefront Esports, as Paradise Tempest are holding this strong. It's down to a minute, user.
They're just having so much room. A lot of what this composition works on is pick value, and the fact that Culture is not only slamming down, allowing them to take so much burst damage, but look at that hook! You just force out the heal real quick onto Nuggies, and now it's going to be a couple seconds so they can push in. The Paradise Tempest are finding a lot of room here by playing just DPSs.
Yeah, as Kawa taking down his counterpart yet again, as there goes Culture with a nice minefield onto the point. They have to take down Rigmy Don, but they don't. They can't get the pick. They can't get that one clip onto the Zenyatta. Lars is down for the time being, but still, it's looking really strong to the side of Paradise Tempest, as the whole Hog coming out with a nano boost does get interrupted, but Rigmy Don's down in this fight. The nice pick from the Tracer of Alpha Reddit. They need to get some more picks in their favor. This KFC Nuggies just staying alive somehow, as this offense might have found its stride for the time being. Culture does take out Peace for the time being, and they might be able to get away. No, they are not, and this should be Forefront Esports able to capture point one.
That was very a dangerous scenario. I think what kind of caused that out was hesitance. We did see that Nano go onto the Roadhog, and they tried to be able to push in, but Forefront Esports are running that brig. You can't play frontline like that. They just shut you down. They hit you with the rock, and there's nothing more to that story other than you're going down back to the spawn room, and it very much hurts. Though Paradise Tempest, they get a moment to reset. They still have a lot of time to be able to stop this push.
Yeah, definitely. It's down to 2 minutes. Yeah, again, and that 2 minutes can go so quickly away, especially on Junkertown, as they're already caught in this room. And a nice hook coming in from Azukari, as FTB goes down to some nice kill from the side of Rigmy Don, as Azukari is going to go fall down to the other Hog that is on the field. It's looking good for now. The side of Forefront having the picks in their favor, but just as I say that, it gets easy. even up quickly, and Lars taking down their counterpart yet
Oh.
again as Kawa is just dominating yet again on the Hanzo. Dominant Hanzo play so far on Junkertown for both of these squads.
I'm more impressed that wasn't a headshot more than anything. But even then, Paradise Tempest have just been looking nice. When situations get picky and they lose someone really big, like Culture, we just immediately see the Hanzo and Tracer. They come in and they protect you. They're managing to get these sneaky picks. However, their rotation is now being caught out. This is going to spell disaster if Kawa gets that dragon out.
Yeah, especially with Culture having this the minefield, they can just put that dragon strike down in front of them, and the minefield behind them, and a nice hook coming in from Azukari yet again. He almost did get caught out, but there's the dragon strike taking down the Brigida. It's down to 35 seconds here. If they get another pick, this could be all but over to the side of Forefront Esports. It's FTB going down to the pulse bomb. This could be the beginning of the end here, user, as Ricky Don takes out Mosquito Game as well.
This is getting terrified. No! Forefront Esports, do not let this be the end of your run. They have a couple ultimate choker. This is more than enough room to be able to push in. They have the nano visor. They're even running back onto the Lucian to be able to touch. As long as Paradise, they don't spam onto the point, they're perfectly good to be able to push this forward.
Well, the tac visor goes out already, doesn't get anyone. The nano boost is going onto Lars here. Mosquito Game does get it in as well, but a nice kill onto Ricky Don starts it off well for Forefront Esports, and there it goes, all the blue going into the kill feed, but Culture gets a nice minefield on the point. I don't know if anybody, they still have the point control, however, Bakawa is getting unleashed and onto the swishies of Forefront Esports, but Peace is gonna be able to walk it home. It looks like there's no one be able to really test him. There goes the Dragon Trick onto the point. The sleep is there onto the Wrecking Ball, but Kawa takes down Peace. This could be all they need to finish this off. All for Reddit, but no, just as I say that, Forefront getting the picks in their favor. It's anyone's point now, but it's going in the favor of Forefront Esports for the time being.
They just got it!
It's Alligator getting 2 wins in the end, and they have a renewed sense of life as they own to 1 minute and 30 left on the board.
That is what I am talking about, Forefront Esports. They just managed to force Paradise Tempest into a staggered match. And Paradise Tempest, as good as they are not going to be winning that staggered match when the entirety of Forefront Esports are going to be coming back faster. They have that passive heal. It's just looking so great. But they cannot keep doing this. This is maybe 2 very long fights left in their pocket. They need to be making some type of change or a lot more value.
They need all for Reddit to get a nice pulse bomb here, but they missed the stick onto Magic Turtle. They still might get the pick in their favor as well. Ricky Don is already gone in this fight as Lars is picked. That's another pick onto Azukare. This could be enough for them to win this out. They're into the home stretch here, but there's still only 30 seconds left.
This is getting dangerous. The sound barrier is there to be able to protect them. A lot of what's working here is just from the fact that Forefront Esports, their adrenaline has kicked in and now they're focusing as a team, while Paradise, they're more panicking under this quick pressure. And with this visor, this could help.
Yeah, the visor is going to be there as well with the sound barrier trying to keep things up. But Lars takes down all for Reddit, and there goes the Dragon Strike on the point. Gamora almost getting caught in it, but if FTB's down, this is it. This should be all she wrote
No,
on the side of Forefront Esports as Paradise Tempest taking map 3 and winning in a 3-0 to the trip to the grand finals.
I am in absolute shock when it comes to here. I can't even scream. I can't shout. I can't cry because Paradise Tempest, a part of me was very proud of just being able to see this dominant play. But look, there was a lot of potential coming out of Forefront Esports. I think continuously going into this match, they looked absolutely beautiful. They looked very great. But I think overall, Paradise Tempest had a better fundamental understanding when it came to how to consistently dive into these matches, how to move in. And in the end, Forefront Esports, they didn't have enough room to adapt. They've been playing a lot of these games in map 5. And I said it last time I saw them. In the future, against better teams, against teams that are more focused, they're gonna shut you down like this, and that's what Paradise Tempest does. And I'm very sad to see Forefront Esports fall, but if it's to any team, it's like this. This is like watching Shock defeat Shanghai, and you're like, well, at least Shock beat Shanghai. It's one of the better teams.
Yeah. And speaking of it, it is being the upper bracket finals. They still have a shot here. They can be they're going to be able to play the winners of Guardians Grace versus UNU Haven Varsity there in the losers bracket finals, and still have a chance to go to that grand finals here. And so it's not over. And from what we saw from them here, they've got a really strong chance. They just need to figure it out to get it. They need to figure out the team before it's to map 3, before they're on that back foot, and they need to win the map, or they go home. And that's going to be a big thing going into their loser bracket finals and maybe the grand finals against Paradise Tempest.
I definitely agree. Forefront Esports, you still have so much to give when it comes to GitGud, and I'm pretty sure when you come back into the winners finals and you're going to be able to go up against Paradise Tempest, this is all speculation, by the way. I'd like to build up the storyline because this is a team with untapped potential. They're a team who's been being able to kind of break through the wind. But right now, we just have to give a lot of praise to Paradise Tempest for their consistency and amazing playstyles to where they're going forward. Most of these compositions they're running are like kind of tier 3 styles, or at least I think a lot higher play. But that's pretty much the end for us, at least for this match though, right, Joker?
Yeah, and that is going to be it, especially for you. You're going to go take a break, you reset your mentals. We're going to be back in the advanced division after this. Don't go anywhere.
One more wine, one more whiskey, and we just kept the car in park and dim the headlights so we see the stars. Let them tell us where we should start. And I'm scared as hell because there's no way to know how this goes, but I can't help but say I promise to give you my all. But it might break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me down. I won't let you down. But it might break me, break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me down. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me down. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me down. It might break me. The sight of you, it makes me dizzy. And when you're gone, I miss your face. Tonight I'll meet you in our favorite place. And just can't let this wait one more day. But I'm scared as hell, and there's just no way to know how this goes. And I can't help but say, trusting why you are so beautiful. But it might break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me down. I won't let you down. But it might break me.
My mind is a minefield. Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GGNA. We're here in the Advanced Division. We've got 07 Xenon versus Royal Mooncakes, and then we have a new co-caster here. It's Akrinator stepping in for User Intel.
Yeah, it's good to be here. A little bit short notice, so excuse the mess behind me. I'm kind of in the process of attempting to move, so that's fun. But either way, I'm hoping for a good game of Overwatch here tonight. Got the winners finals in the Advanced Division, right? So these teams are Masters level. They got one more game before they get to the Grand Finals, assuming they can win this. Otherwise, they got one more in the losers bracket. So I'm hoping for a little bit of a slobber knocker, right?
Yeah, it should be a really good game. I believe I've casted Xenon before, but if I have, I don't really remember much about them. It's a thing with having bad memory like myself, but it should be a really good game. I don't really know much about Royal Mooncakes either, though, so we're going in pretty much blind, but that's when you have some of the best matches you have.
Yeah, definitely. It gives the teams a chance to kind of prove themselves on the go, I guess. The first map is, of course, going to be Lijiang Tower. Pretty common. These teams like to play it quite a lot. It's probably one of the most popular control maps in the game, right? And personally, I like to see it because all three rounds have a different style of play that lets us really see what these teams like to play. Right, so we'll get a good first impression of their comfort zones because the meta right now is a little bit in flux. You know, we can see some of the wrecking ball compositions. We can still see some of that old-fashioned rush, maybe some good brawl or double bubble. It really depends on what their comfort zones are. And at this SR range, you know, Masters level, it's really hard to say what they can get away with.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll have to see. We saw it previously that the Wrecking Ball Winston composition got a lot of value for the winning team in Paradise Tempest. We'll see if they opt for some of those different comps that we're not normally seeing on specific maps, like a very brawl heavy map, like we'll say this one, Control Center here, but it'll be good to see how these teams end up going at the at each map type.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, the one commonality we might be seeing between each round is that Symmetra gets a lot of play on most of the rounds of Lijiang, right? So as long as they have someone who's confident on Symmetra, I'd expect to see that come out at least for Control Center and Night Markets. Gardens, you can see it. You can also see teams completely avoid it like the plague because it is a little bit tricky. And I think that meta's slowly been shifting away from at least that round, right? Control Center and Night Market very much have sight lines, I guess we can say, for the teleporter to be extremely useful if the teams can win that first fight and become established. So we'll have to wait and see. Gardens, of course, you could see anything from like the 6-man rush composition with the Winston Diva, whatnot. You could see possibly some Pharah Mercy, some good old Cassidy play to try and deal with that. It's really going to depend on what they want to play, so it's hard to predict quite yet because we haven't seen them get into any maps yet. It'll be easier as we get further along in the series to predict anything for the upcoming maps.
Yeah. So we're still waiting on some few confirmations to go into this, but before we head in, because we really talked about everything we can talk about. What are you expecting maps chosen to be going into these later maps that are chosen by the losers?
Let's see. Well, that's gonna kind of depend on what these teams' comfort zones are, right? Because if any of them have a very niche strategy, then they could be going for less common picks, right? But if it's the more common picks, I'd expect things like for the hybrid, obviously King's Row. That's just kind of standard at this point. Yeah. Escort, Rialto is very popular. Assault. No one really likes Assault, especially at this level, so hard to say. But we are going to be starting off on Night Market, so expect to see probably that Symmetra in play. I'd expect to see like a Reinhardt Diva composition, maybe the Zarya, but Diva's more common. Occasionally, you'll see teams get a little bit cheeky and maybe run into Risa, maybe even like a Reinhardt Winston, but I'm not going to hold my breath quite yet because these teams still have time, even after this timer wears down. They're going to be in spawn for like another 20-ish, 30 seconds. So don't expect to see Genji Pharah from Royal Mooncakes quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, we could see the Pharah, but the Genji not very likely coming out from them. But we're down to 10 seconds, and they still haven't.
What? How did they get ultimate? What just happened?
I have no clue.
That had to be a glitch or something. I have to assume that there's not like something wrong with the game code, otherwise more people would be having ultimates right now. Interesting strategy from actually both teams.
Yeah, it is rather interesting. They're gonna be taking. Xenon's already taken this point control in their favor here as it's looking good. They've got the Symmetra turrets on the point. It's gonna be really difficult for Nacho to push in now because of it, as they're still trying to get some first picks in this fight, trying to get this point unlocked, and it's already Royal Mooncakes who got the point underway in their favor.
Eternal already has window. This is ridiculous, the amount of healing that's been pumped in. I'm not sure if Xenon's really going to be able to hold on to this point for much longer, though. Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Bill with a 3K barrage. It's going to be going back in the favor of Xenon there quickly after it does get captured up by Royal Mooncakes. But still, 30% on the board for Royal Mooncakes to start it off.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, respectable fight. I wouldn't be shocked to see Luna swap off of the Symmetra at this point, but it doesn't seem like they're sticking with it, maybe because they have that symbol. It's going to be interesting to see how they engage, because with the Winston Reinhardt, you have to act fast, and that's not fast enough.
Yeah, Rui's already going to win this fight for the side of Xenon. Just as I say that, 2 picks going in the favor of Royal Mooncakes. But there goes Bill yet again with another pick in this fight. And that should be all they need to win this out. There's really nothing that the side of Royal Mooncakes can do. They used the sound barrier here, trying to keep this going. Bill almost getting caught out there by the focusing beam of Lunamare. But they're going to be going off the side of the map and resetting quickly.
Like I said, Royal Mooncake's composition is really difficult to pull off with the Reinhardt and the Winston, because it's basically the Winston has to just dive onto a target, and the rest of Royal Mooncakes has to just dive in with them. And it's either they kill everyone on the side of Xenon, or they die themselves. And unfortunately, you didn't really get the chance to rotate properly. Xenon really wanted to just force Mooncakes into an awkward position, fight them before they get the chance to engage, which they just did there with Veggies. However, losing the Pharah might not be too great either.
Yeah, well, Bill does, yeah, like you said, Bill does go down. The res is there for Veggies, but Alleluia is down. That's so much disruption gone for the Royal Mooncakes composition, as Bill is going to be coming back. The Veggies is going to be marking him immediately before anything can go wrong for the side of Royal Mooncakes, but it's down to 90% on the board here.
This is getting a little bit sketchy, especially because Dude from Mars has been doing a great job of holding down the point. Do have some early picks coming in from Xenon, so this is not looking good for Mooncakes.
Yeah, definitely not, as Rui is going to get another pick on the Veggie to really finish it off there. It's just the Echo on point. They do get a couple of picks, but in the end, it's still the tanks on the point, as 7 Xenon take round 1 of Lijiang Tower.
Xenon did a really good job there of just punishing Royal Mooncakes before they ever got a chance to really set up for a proper engagement, regardless of what composition Mooncakes were playing, right? Every time they were caught out, it was mid-rotation, oftentimes because of that Pharah, and that's exactly what these Wrecking Ball compositions want to do. I like to call them the divide and conquer comps, because that's really what they do at the end of the day, right? The Wrecking Ball rolls in, they cause chaos, and the rest of the team just collapses in, and Bill did a great job of doing that. And now you're seeing a little bit of a modified rush from Royal Mooncakes, and Xenon more or less sticking with the same thing. Are actually seeing RUI sticking on the Symmetra. That might just be a quick swap to like a Tracer after a TP. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty standard. Royal Mooncakes, on the other hand, a little bit of a rush with a Fire Mercy. We'll see how well that works.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how they get on this. They need this first pick, and it's looking like Rui is going to be trying to get that first pick in their favor, but it's going to be Nacho with a nice little pile driver kill onto Eternal there. Oh my goodness, Veggie's almost falling off the side of the map, does go down in the end to Rui on the Tracer. Oh my goodness, the DPS duo of Xenon has just been incredible, going so far on this Lijiang map here, Akinator.
Yeah, definitely. Despite Luna getting a faster ult percentage, at least in the beginning fight there towards the barrage, didn't really matter because Bill was finding more picks, especially getting in more damage for RUI to actually get in there and close out the kills, right? So it doesn't really matter if you're doing a lot of damage. You need to get those picks at the end of the day. And looking at the ult percentage, I mean, Nacho already has the minefield. That's ridiculously fast, and I wouldn't be shocked to see that come in like right as soon as the push comes in over the bridge.
Oh my goodness, we almost saw Hallelujah get knocked off the side of the map twice there, but they're going to be taken down super low, but it's going to be Lunamare, and the Pulse Bomb's going to be eaten by Fargon. This could be the opening that the side of Royal Mooncakes need for them to win this out and get the point back into their favor. They do get the res on the build, but Rui is going to take out Veg with the self-destruct coming out, not going to find anyone, and is going to be denied the remake. And it's still looking good for the side of Royal Mooncakes, but a nice kill yet again by Nacho. Still holding this point down strong as the side of Royal Mooncakes go back to spawn yet again.
That was an incredible recontest for a composition that's not historically great at recontesting, right? The Wrecking Ball compositions aren't necessarily sticky, so that's why they want to engage quicker in these fights, right? Ironically, they can get back to point fast, but they're not very good at regaining momentum once it's lost in a fight. It's just that Royal Mooncakes are kind of lacking the target focus when these fights get hairy. Now, however, they do have the Eternals Coalescence, so I'd be shocked to see if they didn't engage with that, because they're going to need something to open.
Well, Bill is going to open up as both of the DPS get value with their ultimates, as Bill gets that 2K barrage to start it off, and that's just going to be sending the rest of Royal Mooncakes back to spawn now.
Yeah, it's looking a lot more like Xenon just going to take this 2-0. They can probably recontest, but how good of a quality is this recontest going to be?
Yeah, they've got a couple people on the board. They do get the hack onto Dude from Mars, but it's not going to materialize into anything. Lunamare has this barrage. They need to do something with it. They've been holding it on for so long, and they do get the barrage, but they don't get a kill with it. As, oh my goodness, the side of Xenon is just dominating right now.
That was just clean play. In all honesty, there's not much more to say. Xenon, they look comfortable on multiple different kinds of compositions. They look pretty good on it right now. Nacho, unsurprisingly, getting play of the game there. It's probably going to be that minefield? No, okay. Oh, okay, different round entirely than what I was thinking. Oh, okay. Get a little bit of a cheeky steal there.
Wow, okay. Bill's seething in their comms right now, as he did not get that play of the game, but it had to be that pile driver that threw it over the top for Nacho there. But that after Lijiang Tower, that was a very, very one-sided map, it felt like.
Yeah, definitely. Night Market felt like it could have gone either way, right? Royal Mooncakes had their moments here and there, but Xenon pulled it out. But then you get to Gardens, and it's just all Xenon the entire way through. They just didn't answer Bill on the Pharah, despite having Luna on the Pharah themselves. Generally, the Pharah battle is either whoever can kill the other Pharah faster, or who can ignore the other Pharah better and just get more damage in on the ground. And it felt like the latter is what Bill was doing significantly more. It was just so much extra kills, not even worrying about Luna saying, you can do your own thing, I'm just going to do it better.
Yeah, and it also felt like I wasn't really paying attention that much, but it felt like they didn't have a Mercy Pocket for the side of Royal Mooncakes there. I might be wrong, I might be misremembering things, but it just felt like Xenon's Mercy Pocket, if was just getting so much more value on Bill there as well.
Yeah, definitely. Royal Mooncakes did have the Mercy Pocket, but they had to fly around a lot more to heal for the team, right? To peel a lot more. And I think that just goes to show Rui and Bill doing so much damage that you need the Mercy to leave the Pharah on the side of Royal Mooncakes just to get in there and try and keep the rest of the team alive. That says a lot about the DPS of Xenon.
Yeah, and that DPS line was just incredible. Every fight felt like they were getting one or two or three picks even, and they were getting value with their ultimate, which still not is still not being like professional or tier 2 Overwatch. Getting value with your ultimates every single time is a massive thing for the Xenon squad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think moving into the next maps, we don't know what the next map will be specifically, but if I'm not mistaken, the order is going to be hybrid next. So King's Row, more than likely, but there are other options technically. It's just that no one ever chooses them. But moving into the future maps, right, you're going to have to see Royal Mooncakes match or possibly shut down, or both, the DPS from Xenon in particular, right, because they were just free farming, it felt like at times. They just were allowed to exist in a world where they really should not have been allowed to get away with everything.
Yeah, and I feel like they if Royal Mooncakes really they need to lock the Cassidy. They need to lock Cassidy here, just because it deals with both of the heroes that we saw Xenon running. The flashbang for the Tracer, and then the hit scan damage coming in for the Pharah. It works better than what we were seeing them trying to use Soldier 76 instead, but that didn't really work out in their favor.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're probably going to need some form of hard hit scan because the Pharah Tracer mirror definitely was not working. I think Rui and Bill were significantly more comfortable on those heroes, so you could lock something like the Cassidy, especially on Gardens. You can lock even a longer range hit scan, like maybe a Widowmaker, maybe an Ashe, something along those lines. The Soldier can work, but it's kind of touch and go, right? If you're not finding the value, if you're not finding the kills, it's one of those things where you need to swap off fast because there are better heroes to suit those situations. Royal Mooncakes even ran out with a Somber briefly, but pretty quickly swapped off there. Honestly, I think the Cassidy probably would have been a better option there, but they have at least 2 more maps to figure it out, assuming Xenon is going for that clean 3-0.
Well, and looking like it so far, as we're going to be heading to King's Row, like you said, with Royal Mooncakes not opting, they're going to be attacking, because I'm assuming Xenon wanted to defend first here. And it'll be really interesting to see if these teams lock that hard brawl, or we're going to be seeing some variation, maybe with some Orisa or something going on in King's Row here.
Yeah, I've recently seen some teams try and lock like the Wrecking Ball into King's Row, but it's worked to like varying degrees, usually less, unless they're just like a one-trick team, which I don't really know if. I think both of these teams showed at least something different than just the Wrecking Ball, so I would be shocked if we see anything other than just the stereotypical Reinhardt brawl. You could see the Zarya, you could see the Diva. That's really the only variation I'm expecting in the tank line. As for the DPS, we might just be seeing like the bog standard stereotypical popular brawl. I think they called it like mini goats at one time, which is basically like the Rein Diva, Mei, Cassidy, Lucio, Baptiste, because it's just so tanky in a way, except a little bit more damage than say like the Legacy Goats composition.
Yeah.
So.
With also that the Neo Goats composition could also be out there. The Reaper was part of that as well if they didn't lock Cassidy. But right now, I wouldn't think them going to Reaper would be the right idea, especially with Xenon possibly being just running back what they did on their previous maps with the Pharah and the Tracer.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna get a first look at what Royal Mooncakes wants to do here first, I guess. Or no, wait, those names are backwards, I think.
Yes, they are backwards.
Yes. Okay, so we're seeing what Xenon wants to run first here with Junkrat. Interesting, but it's not completely unexpected. It has been run from time to time. Rui on that Cassidy not much more to say. Everything else is bog standard. I'm not shocked here. Xenon, on the other hand, potentially running out on the Wrecking Ball composition. The one thing they have going for them here is that the Wrecking Ball composition was initially designed to break this exact style of brawl. So if they play it correctly, it can work. But playing it on offense in a map like Kings Row is not exactly the easiest thing in the world. So it's going to very much depend on how clean their rotations are and how good their target focus is once they get into the fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult. Hallelujah already trying to get that position, as we see there, trying to get into that back, but it's still not looking good. They're just keeping everything on the back foot. As I think they're just nothing's really going on right now. Both teams trying to do
why are they over there?
Why is Bill in the back line?
Well, okay.
Goes down in this fight. There's a lot of damage gone to the side of Xenon. Really does take down Hallelujah to turn it back, but that respawn is just going to be so much in favor of Royal Mooncakes for the time being. But still, they're holding this point strong for the time being, as they're really not pushing this objective while being down. As there goes Fargon,
there's the opening.
Out Rui. That is what they needed in this fight, as Lunamare just raining damage from on high for the time being. Bill does take down the Farah with the Jungle for the time, so still it's in favor of Xenon, as Nacho's going to take out the Shadow drop down too. Both of the tanks are gone, and they're going to be speeding into this front line of the side of Royal Mooncakes. The barrage is coming out as they do take down Hex. That should be enough for the side of Royal Mooncakes, but every time I say that, something goes wrong. But I think right now Royal Mooncakes have gotten this one unlocked.
Oh, that was a nice shot. Actually, wait, Fargon... Wasn't Fargon the Diva last round?
They swapped.
They did? Okay, yeah. I thought I was crazy for a second, but Fargon showing a lot of mechanical prowess, which I guess is common in off-tank players, as well as DPS. That was honestly really sketchy there for a little bit for Royal Mooncakes, but they brought it back. In all honesty, they just didn't want to give up, and they realized that they had the spawn advantage because they were on the offense. It's going to become less of the case now that they're moving towards second point, but they did pretty well. They're focusing down Bill quite a lot. They do not want this Junkrat to survive for very long. Oh, no veggies.
And they're going to have to use that self-destruct to get him back into that mech. The Wrecking Ball ultimate. Minefield does take down Bully Hunter. That's going to be another opening for the side of Royal Mooncakes to win this fight out. As Bill's down as well, and this is going to be some more free push for the side of Royal Mooncakes.
Oh, but they lose a huge source of damage in Fargon now. Going back to spawn, they might be able to get the res off. I haven't been keeping track of that, but it's not really my responsibility. It's more of Xenon's to make sure they can cancel it. But Luna is still in the fight, so she can pump in damage left and right. She also has Barrage once again. It feels like she just used it.
Yeah, as the self-destruct's gonna go out from Dude from Mars, not gonna get anyone, but Lunamire is down. That is gonna be huge, so much damage gone, and the barrage not available, as the side of Xenon gonna be able to hold it for a minute, go back to spawn and hold the point for the time being.
That was a beautiful camp on the res from Bill. They really didn't want Luna to be back in the fight. They probably know the barrage is already up by this point. These are Masters level players. As you can see, the SR in the bottom center of the screen, right? So they've been keeping track of that sort of stuff. Coming into this next fight, though, I'm keeping an eye on Nacho's Shatter, because it's basically a free Shatter. There's no shields inside of Mooncakes.
Yeah, and there's the Shatter coming out, gonna take out 3. Rui gets a nice dead-eye kill. The barrage is gonna be invested late, and only get our Rui in the fight, as they're gonna get that nice stagger out here, but
the ultimate revenge. Luna actually does swap over to the Mei, which I can't blame her. Mei's such a ridiculously powerful hero in this map in particular, and Blizzard is like one of those few ultimates that's fight winning by itself. You don't even need a combo, so they have plenty of time. Royal Mooncakes does not have to panic anytime soon, but they do have to be cautious of Bill's Riptire, because that is in play, and while the last one was destroyed by a fire rocket, I don't think they have to worry about that this time around, so I expect that pretty early on. I didn't see where Bill is. Okay, he's in the front line more or less.
Yeah, he's up on top there, looking to get that Riptire out, waiting it out. They do get two. That's gonna be huge. The immortality field was
okay.
not there, and a nice little flick coming in from Rui there on the Cassidy, and that is going to be another stagger coming out onto Veggies. They're gonna get the Mecta. Oh, they almost
Bill
got
gets
the
revenge. I was gonna say hide Bill just to be sure, but didn't need. He got the revenge he was looking for, and Nacho once again has Shatter, but Alleluia is onto the Reinhardt now, so there is actually the potential for counterplay in terms of the Shatter. I don't think they were going to be able to do much otherwise, because Wrecking Ball into Reinhardt is tumultuous at best. Right, so coming into this, however, Xenon still has more ultimates coming up online. The next best thing for Mooncakes
Oh my goodness! Nacho is gonna lay down everyone on their backs in the base of the shield as well as Xenon getting that 6-man shatter and winning it out with only just getting 2 picks.
He might as well. Alleluia might as well have been still playing Wrecking Ball at that point. That was a 6-man shatter, if I'm not mistaken, and complete fight win. You're getting into one fight territory now because it does take quite a bit of time to get back towards where the cart is. And Xenon have spawned advantage. They don't even want them to touch the cart. They're like, no, you're done. Round over. We say so. And Bill has another tire coming up online. Dude from Mars has had the bomb for a while.
This is going to just be an alt dump
Oh,
from
no.
everyone from the side of Royal
Oh, no.
Cakes. But they've already lost Bargon. Here comes the Riptire as well. Gets 2 in their face as Xenon is just putting their foot down yet again on this defensive hold. It's just gonna be
Veggies.
the Diva, and Veggies is going to have to touch. But
Can they?
They're
can.
going to be able to touch, but they're going to be demexed immediately.
I'd
and
Bill.
killed
Nope.
quickly. They do get a nice shatter. There's going to be 4 down on the ground. The immortality field is coming out, but they still can't get these picks in their favor. It's a sound barrier comes out from Hex, and to top everyone up. The shatter just in celebration, it seems like. As Xenon has gotten a super nice hold on this defense here.
Rui just built like a 45-second shatter. Tops. Or not shatter, wrong character. High Noon tops, because they had just used it in the beginning of that exact fight. So that's kind of ridiculous. Granted, there was a lot of staggering in there. So Xenon, really good hold, right? It's towards the end of second point, so there is a potential to fuller hold, but at the very least, Xenon are sitting pretty, right? If they can have a decent attack, odds are they can push it as far as they need to claim this map and go up 2-0 in the series. Real Mooncakes, I don't know if you run the Wrecking Ball on defense. Technically, it's a better defensive composition on maps like this, but I don't know if you want to risk it. Just running out with bog standard meta at this point is more reasonable, less risky. Gives them more potential to recontest because, like I said, on Lijiang, the Wrecking Ball compositions don't have a fun time of holding and contesting points once they've lost momentum. I would love to see the AC 130 strat from Xenon, but they are in spawn for another 20 seconds, so I'm not going to hold my breath quite yet. It is a possibility, though. If Rui swaps over to the Symmetra towards the gates opening, then I'd say they're probably going for it.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really made any plays to swap off it.
Nope.
But we do unfortunately have a pause, so we won't get to see if the AC 130 comp is coming out.
Yeah, well, got a little bit of time to kill in that regard, but it's looking pretty good for Xenon thus far. It feels like they just have better target focus. And once again, the DPS are just running amok in the backline. It feels like Bill and Rui both are just kind of like taking turns, right? Because when you think back to Lijiang, it felt more like Rui on that Tracer was in the backline. But now it feels more like Bill on the Junkrat is the one who's been flanking a lot more and finding a lot of cheeky picks. So I think not only is that showing a lot of forward thinking, a lot of out-of-the-box thinking, but it's also very coordinated because it's not like they're both running off and like feeding, right? It's one of them sticking with the core, whoever needs to be there, and then the other one is going on a flank and just catching Royal Mooncakes off time and time again, which is a really lethal combination because it keeps working.
Yeah, and they need to do something about it. you've got to expect that one of the DPS are going to be in the back lines of your team. As there, you've got your wish here, Aggranator. We're going to see
Oh
it.
boy. Here we go. So expect Dude from Mars to pop out a shield just to give Bill a little bit of cover from the top of the statue. Weird flank, but I guess that's attempting to preempt any kind of Hanzo Sonic arrow. Oh, okay, just an interesting angle. I've never seen that angle being taken with the AC-130, but I like it. It's going to be very difficult for Royal Mooncakes to contest the point, as you can see.
Yeah, they're going to be able to push down just as Bill unfortunately
Oh.
but there's going to be just so much damage coming in from this front line thanks to the Symmetra and the Reinhardt hammer, as that Symmetra beam is charged up to the maxes. They've already got 2 points on the board, and they need to do something quickly. If you're the side of Royal Mooncakes, they take down Dude from Mars, they might have done it. They've got 3 in their favor as the Amp Matrix is out, as the side of Royal Mooncakes hold on for the time being.
That honestly felt a little bit like a misplay from Xenon, because when you're playing the AC-130 right like that, you really just have to draw out the fight as long as possible, right? Because unless they're contesting you up on the statue as the Bastion, there's no reason to get down. You know, you can see the entire point. Oh dear. Well, that didn't work.
Shatter not going to get anything, and it's another return. Shatter coming in from Hallelujah, finds 4, and that's going to take another team fight win for the side of Royal Mooncakes. Bill does take down Eternal, which is going to be huge going into this next fight down.
Yeah, Starlight might actually have to go back and escort Eternal back because they need their Baptiste. That's kind of important for a huge amount of sustain for the defense in this case. And Xenon has the spawn advantage, so it's possibly going to be on the DPS for Royal Mooncakes to just toss their ults in and try and stall. Yep, seems like it.
That was a big wall coming in from Royal Mooncakes, keeping people off, and that's going to be a blizzard locking up everyone in this
room,
as they're between a rock and a hard place right now with Xenon, as Royal Mooncakes are still holding super strong on this defense.
Had someone, I think it was Rui, on the point, but it didn't really matter. They were just kind of stalling out and staggering themselves. Even so, I mean, when you look at the ult differences here, Xenon isn't necessarily in the best condition. I mean, they really only have Bill's Riptire, which... how do you approach the point? I mean, I guess we're going to see now how they decide to. I guess an aerial assault is the best option they have, but it's still relatively predictable. Okay.
Down barrier is out. It's going to be hard to get any value with it, and the immortality field being infested. There goes Lumiere down in this fight, as they do trade out the Reinhardt for the May for the time being, but again, the respawns are so much in favor. Immortality field, or sorry, Amplification Matrix out from both the squads. The Starlight is down in this fight. The Shatter coming out, connecting to Dude from Mars, and they do get that DMAG onto them. But still, it's looking good for the side of Xenon. But Rui's down in this fight again. The Shatter coming out, connecting to only Eternal on the Baptiste. And then he's not going to be able to be solid. As the side of Royal Mooncakes are still looking strong. Bill does try to turn it back. Takes out Veggies. As a big Riptire gets 3. And that is going to be what they need to win out point 1.
That was like a 30-second Riptire, because he literally just opened up the fight with that. Rui did the same thing in the previous round with McCree, or Cassidy, but either way, coming into this next fight, at the very least, Royal Mooncakes has a little bit of breathing room, right? Because they're a lot closer to most of their important ultimates. Dude from Mars is really the only ultimate online for the offense, as well as they stalled a good amount. So at the very least, they can breathe a sigh of relief that they don't have to hold for like 5 minutes here on Streets phase, right? But they do have to be careful about that bomb, because there are some tricky positions that can be tossed in.
Yeah,
oh no. The trap!
He's going to be trapped, and Dude from Mars gets 2 with the self-destruct, thanks to a nice charge coming in from Nacho, taking out the shield from Royal Mooncakes for the time being, as Bill gets 3 with all...
What just happened? Okay, it's Bill time. It's always been Bill time. Apparently, he's just letting us know. Because who needs ultimates when you get a 3K with a single mine? I don't even know how that happened or what, but this is in dire straits. I don't even know if Royal Mooncakes can contest. They can't. They can't.
They cannot. Bill.
Wow.
Bill guy, the Junkrat guy.
Okay.
I,
Well,
I couldn't think of stuff. Bill changed the nigh part of it to something, but Bill is
I'll-
just
please let this be.
he's just a menace on the Junkrat.
No, it's not. Okay. Oh wait, I think he had a 4K tire or something like that. No, 2K and anything else maybe? Okay, 3 and 4. Okay, there we go. That makes sense.
He's just a menace on the Junkrat there, and it's showing up when they needed to show up, getting crucial kills, especially on that point 1 attack to open it up into their favor. And now they're up 2-0 going into map 3.
Yeah, it's starting to become dire straits for Royal Mooncakes. They still don't have an answer for Xenon's DPS, and that's just going to bite them in the butt here. They're gonna be sent down to the losers bracket if they can't figure something out. It's getting ridiculous at this point. So I don't know what else to say. They just need to clap back in the simplest terms.
Well, they'll have a little bit of time to figure it out as we do head to a short little intermission. Don't go anywhere. Map 3's right after this.
They did find Cucumber, but he's going to lift him.
Oh, Vulcan gets caught right into that, and Speed is going to be
Oh,
able to follow
no.
up. Talking
You
about
let
jumping
him
over to
do.
the Doofus, talking about playing into the Doofus.
A manos de la bola. Ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our Opinion Outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, he just got eviscerated.
He's not dead. Now he's dead.
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it.
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Ebot going absolutely massive!
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker with his M13 in hand is just trying to hold the angles.
was coming up from them. And then the Ana goes down after that, and it was just quick cleanup. Resignations and Witty Wave really clutching out in the DPS department for SM, and they've got first capture crossing 15%. Ultimate's coming up online already. You're going to have Deadeye, and look, we've got Grab Dragons available for that test.
Oh, and they're going to waste no time in committing it. The Graviton comes out. It was there, but it's not going to get any. Oh, excited. Thank you so much, Sidebjorn. Living up to the beautiful strats from Roar Esports. They're gonna go ahead and teleport directly on the point, so they will be meeting them tantamount.
Nothing to try and eat it with, nothing to stave it off, no support ultimates. They've got a shatter, it might just have to be put in to keep the Bastion off, but they don't care about this Bastion ult. They've got a Batiste!
Oh man, this is just nutty right now.
This is not something that you want to push in on, but it's going to be the bomb and the charge into Mansion picks up 3! All of the 3 that you want, and Reinhardt, both of the supports, and this is the fight done already. Frost Dragon
comes.
It does pull out the Transcendence, but the anti-mid gets...
Here comes back on the Doomfist, not hacked up by the EMP critically. Starjummer has the Deadeye, no hack this time around. Starjummer gonna clean up the fight, get 3, get the Electric Cowboy for dancing effect.
This might be the best map for that in all of Overwatch, as we see the hook shot and the
Bane with the silk thread shot, showing off.
Isn't gonna work well against the Ghost Confar as fine the but you're not gonna get through this.
I love watching teams that I haven't seen play before play. It's always thrilling.
Round 1.
It really is. It's wild cards. It's something you don't get to see at the higher levels. Everybody's at least been seen usually at lower level matches. So this is always a fun experience.
Hello everyone, welcome back. It's time for map 3, and Royal Mooncakes are very much on the back foot right now. They need something to change if they want any shot of coming back in the series, because Xenon is just dominating right now.
Yeah, definitely. They're just playing better in every regard, right? And I think in particular the standouts that we've been shouting out every single time thus far have been Bill and Rui, the DPS on the side of Xenon, but really the entire team has just been a menace in their own rights, and Royal Mooncakes just needs to step it up a notch, right? This is the winners finals, so this is not quite the end of the road if Royal Mooncakes does lose the next map, which is going to be Rialto, by the way, but Royal Mooncakes does need to fight a little bit further, a little bit harder if they want to make it to the grand finals if they do lose this next map.
Yeah, and Rialto is a good place to start it or start this reset, or sorry, the reverse sweep. But again, it's just gonna go in the favor of the Xenon DPS line, because you know what's really good on Rialto? Some Pharah Tracer.
Yeah,
and
and
that's what showed up on Lijiang Tower for them too.
Yeah, it's basically just complete free farming on Lijiang Tower once they got to Gardens, right? So it's a little bit hairy, right? There is the potential for Royal Mooncakes to play really any kind of composition. Rialto allows for anything really, from dive to bunker to the Wrecking Ball compositions to maybe a brawl. So they definitely have the potential to run something like a Cassidy, maybe even a Widowmaker on the first point of this map at the very least. So they can certainly try to cut anyone off, say if they have Pharah again on the side of Xenon, but I don't know, whatever they do, it has to work. So it sounds like might be having a substitution come in, probably from Royal Mooncakes, because I don't see anyone besides the 6 people on Xenon's roster.
But maybe the substitution is gonna be what they need. They need to change something up. Something needs to happen for Royal Mooncakes if they want to win this out. And this is where champions are born. Like I always say, in these last fight scenarios, this last map, win or go home. If Royal Mooncakes want to be that championship roster that they're trying to be right now, they need to be able to win this map.
Yeah, definitely. And you never know if there's going to be even tougher teams or equally as tough teams down in the losers bracket. So you really don't want to take that chance, right? You want the easy way over to the grand finals, which of course Xenon wants as well. And they're currently one map away from. And It's not like they haven't already made some minor switches here and there in their roster between the first two maps, because they did swap Fargon and Veggies between DPS and tank, between Lijiang and King's Row, and that it kind of worked in some regards, but it kind of didn't work for the end result they were looking for. So you got to wonder, maybe if they just need like a mental reset. Obviously, we had a short break between map 2 and now, so who's to say? It's really just going to come down to the players' composition, or composure rather, and even their coach being able to rein them back in and say, "Hey, look, we got this. Just keep your head in the game."
Yeah, and that is going to be a huge thing going into Rialto. Like you said, we did have that short little break, but especially with how King's Row ended, you've got to think that was so mentally deflating. Losing to, they almost get the full hold on the first point, but then Bill, with his miraculous rip tires, getting a 3K with it, and then ending off the map with another 3K from Bill. You've got to think that they're so deflated right now. But like I said, champions are built in for these moments, and you've got to put it out of your head. You got to have the memory of a goldfish, that 10-second memory, and that's what you need to be a winner.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, champions are forged in the fires of adversity, and doesn't get much more dire, I guess, than being down 2-0 in a first to 3. So now is the best time for Royal Mooncakes to make their stand and say that they have what it takes to be in the grand finals, right?
Yeah.
I think we're still just waiting on the teams to be ready.
Yeah, it looks like they're having some technical issues right now. We're trying to figure it out. If we'll head to another break, we'll let you know in a couple of seconds, because you don't want to hear us just rambling on for as long as they need. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna head to a short little intermission while we wait for the players to fix their technical issues. Don't go anywhere. Map 3 still right after this.
Healing that's coming up from them, and then the Ana goes down after that, and it was just quick cleanup. Resignations and Witty Wave really clutching out in the DPS department for SM, and they've got first capture crossing 15%. Ultimate's coming up online already. You're going to have Deadeye, and look, we've got Grab Dragons available for that test.
Oh, and they're gonna waste no time in committing it. The Graviton comes out. But it's not gonna get any. Oh, excited! Thank you so much, Sidebjorn. Living up to the beautiful strats from Roar Esports. They're gonna go ahead and teleport directly onto the point, so they will be meeting them tantamount.
Nothing to try and eat it with, nothing to stave it off, no support ultimates. They've got a shatter. It might just have to be put in to keep the Bastion ult, but they don't care about this Bastion ult. They've got a Batiste.
Oh man, this is just nutty right now.
This is not something that you want to push in on, but it's going to be the bomb and the charge into Mansion picks at 3! All of the 3 that you want are Reinhardt, both of the supports, and this is the fight done already. Frost Dragon
comes.
It does pull out the Transcendence, but the anti-nade gets.
And here comes back on the Tempest. Not hacked up by the EMP critically. Starjummer has the Deadeye. No hack this time around. Starjummer gonna clean up the fight. Get 3. Get the electric cowboy. We're dancing a fast.
This might be the best map for that in all of Overwatch, as we see the hook shot and the
Bane with the silk thread shot going on.
Isn't gonna work really well against the Ghost Confar as fine or you're not gonna get through this.
I love watching teams that I haven't seen play before play. It's always thrilling.
Round 1.
It really is. It's wild cards. It's something you don't get to see at the higher levels. Everybody's at least been seen usually at lower level matches. So this is always a fun experience.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got these technical issues sorted out, and we're going to be heading right into Rialto any second now. And we did talk about it before the break, but maybe people are coming back or haven't seen. What are your thoughts on Rialto here going in for both of these squads?
Well, Xenon is likely to just have a complete playground because it plays perfectly into basically any kind of composition they've shown to win the previous maps with. Rui and Bill can just go off and do whatever they want because they have been thus far. And Royal Mooncakes, well, they have a lot of opportunities to play just about any kind of composition. It's going to be kind of rough because they're going to have to solve the very problem they have yet to do, which is clap back to Xenon. It does look like Revolution is in for Rui on the side of Xenon, and I don't see any major changes outside of that, so maybe it was Rui who's having some difficulties, which sometimes doesn't bode well, right, when the winning team loses a DPS like that, but at the same time they still have Bill, they have everyone else, so you'd hope that it would not crush them so much that the tides completely turn.
Yeah, but it's going to be really difficult for anyone to really feel what Rui was doing for the side of Xenon. They do, like you still said, still have Bill. But, I don't know. This has got to be just a fill that they had to get in for this game, I'm assuming.
Probably.
But because they don't have more than 6 people on their roster. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they still have this coordination that we were seeing for these first 2 maps.
Yeah, well, Revolution, like you said, has big shoes to fill, and playing the hit-scan DPS, they have to be responsible for the focus fire, so coordination is going to be kind of important for that. Seeing a little bit of a halt hook combo with a Fire Mercy on the side of Royal Mooncakes, honestly, pretty different from anything they've shown us thus far, but maybe that's a good thing. They kind of need to change something up.
Yeah, that's going good so far. They're getting this progress down as Lunamare trying to get people as it's going to be Fargon starting it off, taking down Hex there, which is a big first pick. That's going to be so much mobility gone for the side of Xenon. Thanks to, because of that Lucio speed boost is gone now. But still, they're contesting it for the time being. Nothing's really going any farther. Just as I say that just takes out Bill.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the focus fire from Xenon isn't quite there. I can't really tell who they want to focus in on. They're caught between a rock and a hard place, between the cart and Luna off to the side, just doing a ton of damage. He's doing a great job thus far on the Pharah.
Yeah, indeed, and they're still getting this cart progress. Nothing's really stopping this team so far, as Veggie's having this Dragon Strike as well. Gonna keep people from being able to touch it. Nacho goes off the side of the map.
What?
That should just be the end of everything. The Ant Matrix is out from the side of Xenon, but I mean,
I'm not
it's
sure
gonna
about
really
that
work.
one. Yeah, it's looking like a completely different team here. Unfortunately, Xenon playing the Reinhardt Brawl, they really just needed to like rush in onto the front line, right? Ignore Luna off to the side, just destroy Alleluia and Fargon, and then go from there. But they didn't really have the confidence to do so, so now you have Nacho on the Orisa. Bill does have the Riptire. Looks like it's going over the ceiling, the rooftops. Oh, Luna. That's a great catch there from the Pharah.
And a nice Dragon Strike coming in from Veggies as well. The barrage going to be used coming in for the side of Royal Mooncakes. They're still going to be able to win this out. The self-destruct coming down from Dude from Mars, trying to do something. They do get the remake kill onto Veggies, as they could turn this fight into their favor. Revolution does have this Deadeye available to keep people going, but a nice hook coming in from Fargon, taking out Revolution before they can press that, before they can press Q, and it's looking good for Royal Mooncakes. They're not stopping anytime soon now.
No, and especially with the bomb go out from Alleluia, that's probably going to be second point. 5 minutes! And Xenon doesn't really have the respawns to set up on that little perch that you see Alleluia standing right next to, and Veggies just jumped on top of. That's usually a good place to hold third point early on, because this is a really nasty choke point, but Royal Mooncakes knows that. They push in front of it so that they don't get help there, and already you have the flank hog coming out. This could get pretty ugly very fast, but it is scouted, so at the very least I doubt we're going to see too much antics from Fargon.
Yeah, and they're going to just be pushing this. They need to get a stop immediately, or it's going to be a huge time for the side, as Fargon's hook does break there, but that was almost huge, as, a nice little boop coming in from Lunamare on the Pharah.
Oh, no.
Revolution going down. This is looking more and more likely. We're going to see a huge time bank coming in for Royal Mooncakes, as Xenon does get two in their favor. Bill's trying to turn it back. It's still not looking good, as the Riptire gets killed immediately. As I don't know what's going on right now. Bill's still alive, still taking people down, but it looks like the side of Royal Mooncakes have won this out. No, the respawns are there for Xenon.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Only Bill could do that. Great recontest from Xenon in general. It feels like they have a distinct lack of confidence right now, and that's probably because they lost their starting hit scan player, who's been playing out of their mind up until this point. But at the very least, the extreme spawn advantage played into their favor. So if you're a fan out there rooting for Xenon, you have some saving grace. It isn't looking too pretty for them coming into this, however, because Amaya does have the Valkyrie that basically supercharges every ult besides the Valkyrie coming into the ult economy for Mooncakes. This is looking pretty good for them. They just need to wait out the bongo. They have plenty of time. No need to rush this. But apparently they do. Bill's already good.
Bill's already gone in this fight. The Dragon Strike's going to be coming out as well. Revolution does take down Lunamare, which is big going into this fight, as they still have this damage coming in from the rest of the Xenon without Bill in this forefront. A nice little hook yet again coming in from Fargon, but they're going to be caught out there. The Immortality Field is going to be used by both squads, as it's still looking good for Xenon.
Oh, man, Hallelujah just melted in 0.5 seconds flat. And this is looking pretty good for Xenon now, because they're going to force Royal Mooncakes into a dry fight unless they get some crazy picks off to the side, but it's not looking to be the case. So this next fight is going to more than likely be Xenon's to win, because Mooncakes just wants to force out some ultimates so that they're in a better condition when it gets closer to like a minute, right? But that's getting a little bit hairy then for the offense. You do have Fargon swap off of the Roadhog eventually, and they decide it's not worth it anymore, and the Sigma, the extra shield, is going to be oh so powerful. And Xenon, if they want to win this round in particular, they kind of have to be conservative with their ultimates. Win with less, if possible, right? They really don't want to invest all 3 or 4 that they're going to have, because then they have nothing for the upcoming fight. And that's exactly what Mooncakes are hoping to accomplish.
Ooh, and they almost caught out our again early in this fight. They're going to get using the Flux early in this fight. That's going to get a couple of people in the air, but it's going to be saved up by the Immortality field. But still, it's looking good for the side of Xenon. But just as I say that, Revolution's down in this fight. That's a lot of damage gone for the side of Xenon. They need to use something. Amp Matrix is out from Royal Mooncakes. And another pick going in their favor. They're going to use the Dragon Strike to get that point of possession. Yeah, again, Dude from Mars is down. These respawns need to come back quickly. The res is there, but Nacho's caught in the middle of a rock and a hard place. As they do somehow get their way with it. Bill almost trying to turn it back, but no one's going to be able to touch. But they still got it down quite a bit here.
Yeah, I remember they came into third point with like 5 minutes and 11 seconds, so that's a pretty good hold. Honestly, I was questioning the use of the dragons from Veggies there, but ultimately it did work. It found a kill. It forced Xenon back into spawn because they wanted to wait for people to actually come back to recontest, and it left really no one available for the recontest when it mattered most. So capturing Rialto at all, even if it was in overtime, would have been really good because it's difficult to capture third point, but doing it with almost a minute is pretty solid, right? It's a nice little buffer, because there's no guarantee that Xenon's going to be able to fully capture. You can be first held, you can be second held, and of course you can be third held on Rialto. So there's plenty of opportunities for Mooncakes to take this map a lot sooner than they otherwise would.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the changes coming through for Xenon. They're going to be going back to that Lijiang Tower composition that they were running, and they were running it so well, but now they don't have Rui on the Tracer to cope in those backlines. They have this Revolution, this sub. We'll have to see if they can live up to the standard that we saw from Rui, or at least be comparable. And that's pretty much all they need. If they can just keep those be coordinated with Nacho and Dude from Mars, that's all they really need.
Yeah, the difficult part here for Xenon as a whole, though, is going to be that this Wrecking Ball composition was designed to break apart brawl compositions, not bunkers. It has a very difficult time dealing with the Risa comps, so they might actually be forced to swap rather early if they can't get some good boops from Nacho right off the bat, which looks like they might have gotten something, or I'm not sure if a drop just happened there naturally. Either way, having a little bit of a scuffle, but no team is necessarily up or down. Okay, well now you have the defense up.
Yeah, as Revolution is down, and Veggies with a nice little headshot kill. But Bill still raising damage from on high here, and the Nacho getting a lot of disruption here, not being able to really set up like they want to, thanks to the roll-throughs from Nacho. But still, nothing's really going on from the side of Xenon. They need to get this first pick, and they need it soon.
Yeah, definitely. Revolution actually forced to use the recall there, getting very low, and Bill is being contested quite consistently. You do get rid of Starlight's lamp, as well as Starlight, so that's a real opening.
That is the opening indeed, and it comes off the back of Revolution in the backline. What they needed their Tracer player to be doing there. Bully Hunter does go down, but they're keeping this hold going for the time being, as another pick coming in from Lunamare, but that's going to be a little bit late of stagger coming in, but I mean, the respawns are kind of even right now.
They can recontest, but it's definitely in favor of Xenon for the moment. It kind of depends on how Bill decides to use this barrage. He's going to have to be very careful with it, especially because Lunamare's right there.
Yeah, and Veggie is going to take down Revolutions. The barrage coming out from Lunamare there as well. And that's going to be...
no.
Starlight just catching out, but Dude from Mars with 2. The self-destruct as well, but the Dragon Strike coming out to the point, taking out Hex immediately. And the Amp Matrix is going to get so much damage onto the front line. They're going to have to regroup yet again.
That was a lot of ultimates invested from Royal Mooncakes, but it also won them the fight, and this is very heavily in favor of them in terms of spawn advantage. While Nacho does have the minefield, the position that the car is in makes it very difficult to find a ton of value unless he somehow gets behind and puts them on the bridge and everyone kind of pushes forward, but they're already going to be holding in front of the choke instead of behind it, just by nature of where they want to be positioned and what Xenon's running. So they're kind of expecting it, or maybe not. They didn't. They didn't do anything to Nacho that entire roll through.
Didn't get that positioning like you wanted, but there comes the minefield out, and the immortality field is going to be used early as Bully Hunter takes down Hallelujah, and a nice roll through coming from Nacho. This should be the opening, and they do get that point control and point unlocked as we see the rest of the Royal Mooncakes go off the side of the map with Nacho following him suit quickly.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Xenon, however, because the Wrecking Ball composition has a lot less space to work with from here on out. So they've been having trouble displacing and dislodging this bunker thus far, and that's when they had a ton of space to work with. Now they don't really have as much, so it's going to get quite dicey. They're really going to have to find a ton of value from their resources, from their ultimates like that. That's a great start. They need to deny the res now.
Yeah, as Revolution does take down Veggies quickly to start this fight off with, but Lunamare looking to get a barrage, trying to take out this Pharmacy on their own, but no, nothing's going to be doing as the res is there onto Veggie very quickly. Still waiting for a pick to really just open this up. That's looking like it's going to be this Pharah duel in the sky, but no, it's going to be Nacho going down to Starlight, as this is going to open it up for the side of Royal Mooncake. So much disruption gone for the side of Xenon, as the Nacho going back to spawn. Bill does take down Lunamare, however. That could be changing this entire fight, as the Amp Matrix is coming out from Royal Mooncakes as well with a Supercharger. Veggies does take down Revolution here, but it's so many ultimates are used for the side of Royal Mooncakes. Is the barrage coming out from Bill? Not going to get anyone. They're going to go down.
Oh no!
Lunamare going to be using the barrage as well. Not going to get anyone thanks to the Transcendence. But still, Royal Mooncakes win this fight out.
Honestly, I think they might need to swap Revolution off the Tracer onto a more standard hit scan, whether that be something like the Ash or the Cassidy. Soldier can even work here, but they just need something that sticks with the team more, because this backline Tracer is not working this time around, and they really need that presence on the front line to combo with the setups from Nacho. And sure enough, Hanzo, viable option. Not a hard hit scan, but kind of fills that niche in some ways. So better than the Tracer, in theory at least. It kind of depends on how they set it up. Really early engagement from Nacho.
Yeah, well, it's a nice mind.
Oh,
Bill's gonna take out Veggies. They need another pick, and they need it quickly because it's down to a minute left on this board. But a nice hook coming in from Fargon as Nacho is taken out of this fight. Dude from Mars turns it back, takes out Starlight in their favor now. Is this fight? So they need to get some more picks. Another nice hook coming in from Fargon. This could still be what they need, as the whole hog coming out from Fargon. He's gonna just push people away from the point, but still, it's looking good for either of these squads. Revolution takes out Veggies. The self-destruct coming out from Dude from Mars. He takes down 2, and that is going to be all they need for the remaining time to get this capture going, as it is just 0.4 meters or 0.04 meters away, and they do get the capture percentage in the end, but it's down to 1 minute and 55 seconds.
Yeah, and Xenon used a lot of ultimates to get into there. At the very least, they have both support ultimates that can withstand the tsunami of ultimates that Mooncakes is likely going to toss into this for the upcoming fight. I mean, they have the Valkyrie, they have the Window, they have Bongo, they have the Barrage from Lunamare as well. So they really have just this embarrassment of riches in terms of resources that they can pick and choose as they so desire. And it's going to make it really full of pressure for Bully Hunter in particular. When do you use this Transcendence?
Well, Revolution takes down Lunamare as well with the Dragon Strike coming out. The Immortality Field has been used, but Hallelujah takes down Bill. The res is there, and as well with the Barrage
Luna,
available
where are you
coming
going?
out. Both
Fuller has the barrage, but the barraging Pharah gets taken down by a barraging Pharah as Bill gets 2 in this fight. They're going to be able to capture it as it's going to be very even.
Oh no. Oh no, no. Okay. That's like the one thing you couldn't do. If you're Royal Mooncakes, you really had to stall it out for as long as possible, because you had the potential, even if you gave it up, right? But you gave it up in overtime, that's almost double the time. There's a 1 second difference. That is effectively useless to Royal Mooncakes, aside from the fact that they're defending first again. So they have another chance to wear down the clock. And at the very least, the one saving grace is that Xenon took a long time in their first point offense. It was basically down to the wire. But now they have momentum, and they can immediately carry through that momentum again. And maybe they don't put Revolution on Tracer again. You know, they're gonna stick him on the Hanzo, which makes a lot of sense because it worked really well in third point. A lot of picks coming through, a lot of focus fire. And actually, Royal Mooncakes completely changing the script. They're not on the Orisa, which they have been for this entire map thus far, if I'm not mistaken, and now they're just on the stereotypical brawl, right? The Mei, the Cassidy, and then everything else just bog standard. It's gonna be difficult, right? At the very least, they have Veggies to deal with Bill. They have Luna probably to wall off Nacho, but I don't know. I'm very much a believer in momentum in these kinds of situations, and Xenon has a plenty.
Yeah, well, they're holding the spawn doors here right now, but it's going to be really difficult to get this Pharah out of sorts when you're in this tight area that the side of Royal Mooncakes are currently, as it's going to be very hard for them to not get moved off the side as Lunamare goes down as well. Veggies does take down Bill. The residence there again for the side of Xenon, and this spawn hole has been broken wide open for the side of Xenon.
I really can't blame Royal Mooncakes for taking that close hold, because they're guaranteed another fight, right? So they really just wanted to focus it down to one fight territory before it gets towards the end of first point. But that also gives Xenon a lot of ultimates, as well as the fact that Royal Mooncakes swaps off of the brawl. I'm not sure about that, because now they lost the ult economy. They need to win in a neutral fight, which is really difficult in this scenario. I'm not sure if they can do it.
And no one's checking Bill as he just goes into the back line there for the side of Xenon, and he's just going to open the fight up yet again for the squad. They've gotten the picks necessary yet again, as Dude from Mars with 3 as the team kill gong sounds, and that is first point, and they're going to have bad spawn for the side of Royal Mooncakes.
Yep. Oh, so many of them have bad spawn. That's terrible. Nacho just rolling on through. Doesn't even need to track. Look at the ultimates. Just look at the ultimates. This is disgusting. This should be illegal, but it's not. And Xenon is loving every minute of it because they have everything besides the minefield. They can just press Q all at once and get like more than halfway to the end of second point, which is disgusting in an overtime push on Rialto. I don't think they even know Nacho's there. They don't need to know Nacho's there. He doesn't have minefield. But either way, he's going to cause quite the distraction for Bill or Revolution to use the dragons. Well, there you go. It started already.
They are going to be caught out by Lunamare. Is there going to talk? No!
Okay. There was a miscommunication on the blue side of things here, folks, and that could have been dragged out a lot further, but I'm sure Royal Mooncakes is pleased that it ended the way it did. But that is still not the easiest thing to push towards. First point in overtime Rialto is not easy to capture. So Xenon, as long as they don't get tilted from that, they have a lot of opportunities to hold.
Yeah, and you gotta feel bad about if you're Xenon right there. Dude from Mars, right after it ended, they gets the 3K self-destructs. And that was just going to open up even further for a longer push. We might have seen them get to second. But, like you said, just a little bit of miscommunication can go a long way.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at normally who holds on the point, it's usually like the main tank if it's a brawl composition, but they're playing Wrecking Ball, so the Wrecking Ball isn't expected to be on card. Or the off tank, and Dude from Mars was tossing in the bomb, so they don't touch the cart for a brief period, which is probably what happened. And then you have the main support, who Far Mercy, so not going to be on the cart. And then the Zen, who kind of can't really be on the cart in that position because it's too open, right? So that leaves like what, Dude from Mars and Revolution. And I think it was just a cacophony of errors that led to a really good push. Bled short, but either way, again, not the end of the world. They're not going for the close hold. I can't blame them for that. That's rather risky, and they can certainly get a lot of time whisked off the clock just by holding the way they are.
Yeah, as Lunamare trying to get this angle yet again, that worked for them so well, but
Luna
getting down.
Oh,
Bill
no.
is gonna take down the Farah.
Wait.
A nice stick coming in, and they're gonna be able to take down Bill, so it's a nice trade. But
the Mercy,
the Mercy, who's gonna get
No,
him?
no.
Oh my God, the Mercy had it in the back for the time being, but they have to recoup now. They can't give up this point as they need to regroup.
Yeah, that was really good divide and conquer from Royal Mooncakes, despite the fact that Xenon are the ones playing the divide and conquer composition. Neither team is particularly close to ultimates, but I mean, you do have Lunamare slowly taking up to her duplicate, and they have to give up first point here, right? Because it's in overtime, guaranteed. They don't get any extra time for capturing. So I don't blame Xenon for just getting the better positioning in second point, especially because they're going to have the Transcendence soon. As long as they can survive this amplification matrix from Starlight, they can probably sustain through everything with the Transcendence. Hex is going to have that Valkyrie. They just need to play safe and play decisive when they get the opportunity, but that's a great opening. They no longer have the M matrix. I don't know if they can go for the res.
Yeah, Lunamare is going to be copying the
This isn't working.
It's not working
This
at all.
isn't working.
They do get the res onto Starlight, and Revolution is fallen. But still, it's looking good.
The Transcendence.
The Transcendence is there. They need something coming in from Bill. They need their nice barrage coming in from their far as Dude from Mars takes out Hallelujah.
That's a good start. Oh, Dude from Mars.
Oh, no. If they take down the Mercy, as Xenon gets the team kill to end it off and book their ticket to the grand finals.
Got a little bit hairy there. I'm sure they had a cold chill run down their spine after they C9'd, but it's okay. It ended all right at the end of the day. Still 3-0. Xenon going to the grand finals. And, hopefully no C9s there, but they're going to have plenty more maps to do so, and they have a little bit more time to wait and see who their opponents are going to be. So, Xenon has the chance to take a breather. Royal Mooncake's going to have to take a little bit more preparation and get ready for the loser's bracket. I don't know if their opponent in the loser's bracket is already determined, but they'll probably figure that out over the next couple of days or whatnot.
Yeah, let me get you that answer while I try to figure out the bracket. But yeah, that it was really shaky without the that consistent damage coming in from Rui there on Rialto for the side of Xenon, but still in the end, Revolution did get some big picks for them when they swapped over to the Hanzo, not trying to play what they would normally play. It looked like for Xenon. So it worked out in the end for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you have an emergency ringer like that, I've seen more teams be successful and they just put that ringer on whatever they're good at, as opposed to whatever the team has practiced, whatever compositions might fit into their comfort zone, right? So they put Revolution on the Hanzo. It felt like night and day compared to their Tracer. And I think that's definitely the secret sauce there. If you're running a ringer like that, like, okay, what heroes are you good at in this role? And then we can play around that and get a little bit shaky, but it worked. At the end of the day, you can only expect so much from a ringer, and I think Revolution did more than admirably.
Yeah, so I do have the information for you. The side of Royal Mooncakes will be playing the winner of Space Diamonds versus Bamboo Shack. We do not know the winner of that yet, so they'll be playing them, and they'll be either playing Saturday or Sunday coming up for the chance to win in the grand finals if they do win their losers bracket finals against one of those two teams. But that's really about it. I think we don't have really much more to say, as it's been all said and done.
Congratulations to Xenon booking their trip to the grand finals. Commiserations to Royal Mooncakes. You still have the chance in the losers bracket finals. But that's going to be it for GGNA for today. Thank you all for watching. It's been me, Joker's Ransom, and Ocarinator on the cast. Thank you all. Peace out and good night.
Healing that was coming up from them. And then the Ana goes down after that, and it was just quick cleanup. Resignations and Witty really clutching out in the DPS department for SM, and they've got first capture crossing 15%. Ultimate's coming up online already. You're going to have Deadeye, and look, we've got Grab Dragons available for that test.
Oh, and they're going to waste no time in committing it. The Graviton comes out. But it's not going to get any excited. Thank you so much, Sidebjorn. Living up to the beautiful strats from More Esports. They're gonna go ahead and teleport directly on the point, so they will be meeting them tantamount.
Nothing to try and eat it with, nothing to stave it off, no support ultimates. They've got a shatter, it might just have to be put in to keep the Bastion off, but they don't care about this Bastion ult. They've got a Batiste!
Oh man, this is just nutty right now.
It's not something that you want to push in on, but it's going to be the bomb and the charge. It's a Mansion picks at 3. All of the 3 that you want, the Reinhardt, both of the supports, and this is the fight done already. Frost
Here it comes.
It does pull out the Transcendence, but the anti-nade gets...
And here comes back on the Doomfist. Not half the pilot EMP critically. Starjummer has the Deadeye. No half this time around. Starjummer gonna clean up the fight. Get 3. Get the electric cowboy. We're dancing a fast.
This might be the best map for that in all of Overwatch as we see the hook shot and
with the silk thread shot going on.
Isn't gonna work well against the Ghost Confar as fine the people playing but you're not gonna get through this.
I love watching teams that I haven't seen play before play. It's always thrilling.
Round 1.
It really is. It's wild cards. It's something you don't get to see at the higher levels. Everybody's at least been seen usually at lower level matches. So this is always a fun experience.